Yeah.
Here we are, born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the show. You are here, and I need to check something. Oh, Till Dipper followed me. Nice. We're getting close to the 400 six symbols. We're getting close to the 400. And you know what happens at 400? Nothing unusual. Okay. Okay. That's good news. That's good news. That's good news. Let's just jump straight into it. What's going on here? It looks all fuzzy. Oh, God damn. What's going on in this sort of region? The green screen's not doing great. The lighting's all wrong. Why is the lighting so bad? Oh, I moved my lamp. I'm gonna have to get new lighting set up. Hola, ¿qué pasa, mi amigo? Où est le centre de Georges Pompidou? Wie komme ich zum Bibliothek? Get to Twin Elms. Assassins abound. Warden's Lodge. We're in the Warden's Lodge. I'm gonna eat another Cuban sandwich. ¿Cómo estás, mi ami? Is that the plural of amigo? So we gotta get to Twin Pines. Is that what it's called? Twin Elms? Elm Street?
Amazing. You could fit a whole village in here.
Oh, some fucker's gonna attack the stronghold in 4 days. You know what I haven't done? I haven't done the announcement on Discord. Okay. Let's do the announcement on Discord. I can do that from my phone. Did you see what I posted on Discord? Someone in Limerick was trapping birds. Some kind of bird stealing scam. Jimmy. Jimmy, were you involved in this bird stealing scam? A band of vicious mercenaries is marching on our gates. I wonder if there's anything we can do to murder them. Let's have a look at our equipment while I eat this sandwich. So, you have a human killing gun. Can we make it any worse? It's got slaying. It's got this. We could put damaging on instead, but we like it being accurate. Okay. What about Durance? Hey, Owen, how are you doing? We're making everyone's gun human slaying. Because most of our enemies appear to be humans. Ooh! 5 years? Congratulations. We can't afford to make it kith slaying. We don't have enough Barrett's Bell. Okay. Mmm. I'm gonna give him a corrosive lash on his gun, on his Raven wing. Yeah, we're gonna put corrosive. It's another 25% acid damage. We don't know what things have what protections, so I'm trying to spread these things. Lots of fun reading the Mega Dungeon stuff. Gonna pull the trigger and get one today. Excellent. I'm on board. I'm in. I'm down to party. In the D&D sense, and also in other senses, but just in a general sense. Hit it, Owen. I have not told chat yet about what happened on Tuesday. On Tuesday, our second ed game fell through again. Unfortunately, the DM injured his back and could not come. So we have decided that as a backup plan, in case more tragedies befall our Tuesday night DM, Blackrobed One is going to run classic Ravenloft adventures via Second Ed. We have made... So instead of doing our usual Tuesday game, we did session 0 of a Ravenloft campaign. I have made a wizard. He's a fire elementalist, but his hobby is lepidoptery. He goes out and he seeks out butterflies and moths of the moors. But second ed has a thing called kits. There's a moth in my room now, which is freaking me out. But second ed has a thing called kits, and one of the Ravenloft kits that is applicable to any of the character classes is Pistolier, where you get a free gun, right? You get a free wheel lock belt pistol, right? Free, gratis, just like that. You don't get the ability to use it, but you get a free pistol. You have to spend your weapon slot on being able to use the pistol. So I spent my weapon slot on being able to use the pistol. And that's when we discovered a problem with this kit. You get a free pistol. You don't get free bullets. And one of the requirements is that you endeavor to at all times have at least one bullet and at least one charge of smoke powder to fire the bullet, and the tools and equipment necessary to make more bullets. The bullets are cheap. You can get 10 bullets for 1 gold piece. The mold to make the bullets costs 30 gold pieces. My starting wizard rolled really well, and I had 50 gold pieces of starting cash. So immediately I had to spend 30 of it on this bullet mold. How much does gunpowder cost? Well, I'll tell you. 10 charges of gunpowder cost 100 gold pieces. I can afford 1 fire ring's worth of gunpowder, because I had to buy other stuff like pants and shoes. So I have clothes, a butterfly net, a gun, 1 charge of powder, 10 bullets, 3 slings, because slings are super cheap, and 10 sling bullets, which are cheap. Now, the thing about the gun is it costs 101 silver pieces every time you pull the trigger. Jimmy, I couldn't afford more gunpowder. I could only afford enough gunpowder to fire it once. Now, the class requires that you always have, it doesn't say you always have, because you're allowed to shoot the gun. You endeavor to always have 1 bullet, 1 charge to load the gun itself, and the equipment to make more bullets. And if you lose them, you have to go out of your way to get them back. Right? So the thing... This is just Chris Rock's theory. So the thing with the gun is, it's a second ed gun. The Ravenloft guns, they're setting appropriate. They ignore 6 points of armor. Right? So you step into a situation and you go, I'm going to shoot this guy. He's got an AC. He's wearing plate mail. No, he's not. He's basically naked. You ignore 6 points of armor and shoot at him. So it's gonna be that, like, I need to hit this guy. And then it does a D8 damage. And if you roll an 8, you keep rolling until you stop rolling 8s on the D8. Yeah. It's like +6 to hit. If you just ignore, like, so you're not more likely to hit someone, but if they have armor, you're more likely to ignore their armor. Now they get to keep their dex, but they don't get to keep their armor. So if they're in leather armor and they have dex 10, they have no armor. If they're in scale mail and they have dex anything up to, I think, 14, is when you start getting dex bonuses to AC in second ed. I can't exactly remember right now. It's not coming up. But Hida Owen made an Avenger whose enemy is tyrants, and Universal Enya made my character's sibling, who is a cleric. Yeah, you're sure, but you can do that every round, Hida Owen, for free. I am firing this gun with which I have Dex 17, so I think I might have +2 or +3 to hit. So my THAC0 is 18, but my THAC0 is 18 if that person, like, it's not really, because I mean, like, if someone has AC 0, they probably actually have AC 6. So I'm hitting them on 14s, 12s. I'm hitting them on 12s. I'm hitting a man in plate mail, like, but it cost me 101 silver pieces to do it. Hey, D4T, we're talking about my second ed character from Tuesday night. So we're in Ravenloft, and the mists have just taken us somewhere. And in 2 weeks' time, if our normal second ed DM can't DM, then Black Road 1 is going to run a Ravenloft campaign. But man, every time I fire that gun, it's going to cost us so much money. I don't know how often we're going to... And then I sent that to someone who had played years ago in a second ed campaign with another player. Thank you, Jimmy, for doing the shoutouts. Who had a pistolier. And he was like, I didn't realize it was so expensive to use that gun. And I was like, you know what? I think people were probably ignoring... Like, the gun is great. It's overpowered. And you go, it costs 101 silver pieces to fire the gun. I don't have... Like, my starting cash, you can't afford to shoot the gun. And if you miss with it, you've thrown that money away. But the next thing is, if you take any fire damage, you have to roll an item save for whatever is holding your spare powder. And if it fails the save versus fire, it explodes, and it does you 1d2 damage. 1d2 for every charge of gunpowder you're carrying. So if you buy a powder horn with 10 charges in it for 100 gold pieces, and actually you don't get a powder horn for that. You're just getting the 100 gold pieces costs of the powder. If it explodes, it does 10d2 damage. My character has 4 hit points. So at minimum, it's doing 10 damage. In all likelihood, it's doing 15 damage. It kills him. He cannot carry 10 charges of gunpowder on him. Mm, mm. Mm. Also, the character is a fire mage, an elementalist. Okay, we're going to enchant. We're going to enchant Unforgiven with Kith Slayer. Okay.
Hey.
I think we're going to have to do this fight. Okay. Has everyone rested up? No, everyone's wrecked. We need to rest. And we get so many choices for what we want to take as our bonuses. Hey, Macon Sagard, how are you doing? This presages doom. Thank you, Jimmy, for doing another shout out. Yeah. Well, Hidaon, here's my plan. I'm gonna make a porcelain powder horn. Because it saves versus fire on a 2 and versus magical fire on a 3. There we go. There's a very slim chance of it exploding and killing me. Very slim, because you remember it's an item save. Looking forward to the long weekend, yes. Okay, we're gonna rest. We're gonna take the towers bonus, right? And I want to test something. If we rest again, it says the towers bonus lasts for 3 rests. Can we oh, Durance wants to talk to us. Here's what I'm... Am I muted? Hit Owen. Okay. Jimmy wishes. Well, Jimmy, look. So I was looking at the item saves for second ed, right? Ivory saves as bone. Bone is quite good against fire, but not great against magical fire, if I remember correctly. But it's good against fall compared to ceramic. Ceramic saves really well against fire and magical fire. Magic saves really well against fire and magical fire. I think it would save as ivory. I think it's included. I think that's... I think it counts as ivory. And I know it's not keratin. Oh, I think horn counts. I think it listed bone, horn, or ivory. I think it would include like turtle shell as well in that one. But what was I trying to say? The best thing for fire saves is ceramic. or pottery, but that has a terrible breakage save for dropping it, right? So you don't want that. Metal has a great save for normal fire and for dropping fall damage, but a poor save for magical fire, right? So you don't want to keep it in a metal container because magical fire will set it off, which is really like the likely source. What I was thinking was, what if you put each of the charges in a different container, forcing lots of saves? Are horns bone or hair? It depends. Antlers are bone. Horns on a cow are keratin. Horns on a rhino are hair, but they're also keratin. Like fingernail and hair. Ivory is tooth, so it's enamel. Macon Tigert, I've made a second ed character for a AD&D second ed Ravenloft game, and he's a pistolier. Pistols are very expensive, which is fine. The bullets are more expensive than sling bullets, but the gunpowder to fire them is so expensive that it costs 101 silver pieces every time you pull the trigger. But the other problem is you're carrying around an explosive. Anytime anyone does fire damage to you, your equipment explodes. There was a LARP in the UK over the weekend. The Grand the Grand whatever fair. And they told everyone you don't need to wear your armor to get the benefits of armor. Because it was so hot. I'm told not to call it the Geff. That I should be calling it the fair. But I think the fair tells me nothing. There's a lot of fairs. Ed Sheeran? I don't know. Ed Sheeran, the Grand Ed Sheeran Fair. You can loosey-goosey it. We can loosey-goosey it at higher levels, but you can't loosey-goosey it at low levels. Okay, Durance. Your eyes open to a familiar scene. Durance sits with his staff laid across his lap. A malignant flame sprouts from one end. He is difficult to make out, his features soft, bleeding together, but the staff you can see clearly. Its etchings aglow in molten orange. Come and see my etchings, he said. Though Durance's face is difficult to distinguish, there is no mistaking the hardened expression, the furrowed brow. His voice hisses and sputters, low and unintelligible, as though having a private argument with the staff. Traces of spittle catch the firelight as they fly from his lips like sparks. And to your surprise, there is a female figure behind him. You are about to call out a warning when you realize this is Magran. Is the Magran statue where you first met Durance at the fork. Yet she seems almost alive for a moment. Her cast shadow seemed as if it was moving, cloaked and then still, frozen with the night at its back. Examine the staff. There is They cancelled the Big Monday fight. Oh, wow, okay. There is something odd about one of the symbols. A circle of 12 smaller circles. One of the small circles glows brightly, but the other 11 give off little light. They flicker and fade like dying embers. Between his hissing curses, Durance lowers his face close to the staff and blows on the fading circles with a panicked rapidity, coaxing light from them, but they do not ignite. One by one, the light of the circles dies, and smoke rises from their ashes. Only one still burns. So there was a dozen people involved. There were 24 people, but there were a dozen people involved in making the God Hammer and killing the god with it. $30. It was 25 degrees today. I used the sauna. The sauna is great in the heat. You use the sauna, you spend a while in the sauna, and you come out of the sauna, you have your shower, you go, now the normal weather doesn't feel so bad. I've been doing like 100-degree sauna for the last while. It's great. Adjusts my position of thinking. Durance hurls his staff at his feet, and it clatters to the ground. Its edges have become soft, difficult to find. Like its owner, the staff becomes a blur. You close your eyes and reopen them. Durance is there, picking up his staff from the ground, but the blur is gone, and you are awake. Great, Durance.
Hey.
Continue to get to know Durance. Had another dream about Durance burning symbols. Okay. Okay, we should be doing assassins. We should have to go to Twin Elms, but we have to make sure our castle doesn't get attacked. The Trials of Durance, Scattered Faith. We need to go to the Records Archives, Time and Tide, explore the Endless Paths, The Master Below, explore the Endless Paths, The Long Hunt, locate the forest from the current vision. We think there's one where there were blackened trees. We might check that later. The Siege, we haven't dealt with the Siege. Far From Home. Okay, we don't want to deal with that. Okay. Grieving Mother, yeah, we're not doing that. Okay. So, we all now have Tower Arresting bonus, which lasts 3 rests. Right. Oh, Durance wants to talk.
What?
Hold on.
What? What?
Does something ail you? I had questions I wanted to ask you. I need you to leave. I had questions I
If
wanted to
doubts
ask you.
and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure. I had another vision of you. One of the symbols on your staff. It was dying.
You see many things that aren't there, Watcher.
Yeah, sure.
Perhaps the symbol was for your disappearing sanity, and we are to bid it farewell while you still have the wits to grieve for it.
I saw a symbol with 12 circles. What does that represent?
That symbol? The God Hammer.
Okay. Then it was the God Hammer symbol I see extinguished on your staff.
No riddle there, Watcher. It took 12 of us to build the God Hammer. Afterward, I took my leave of all of them to see what Margaret had in store for me. I've seen none of them since.
Are you sure there isn't more to that
Your
story?
kind has a way of interpreting its visions to fit the version of the truth you like best. But Margaret's flame leaves no room for interpretation.
That is clearly untrue.
Waste the time of others with your distortions and your fever dreams.
The flames distort all that lies around them, and you never seem to be far from a flame. Flames may leave no doubt as to what or where they are, but why they are is anyone's guess. I know what I saw. The flame starts all around them. You never seem to be far from a flame. Flames may leave no doubt as to what or where they are, but why they are is anyone's
It's
guess.
always the way of the mad to try to convince others of a reality only they can see. But when your doctrine's the truth, it requires no convincing, only an opening of the eyes. I would purify you, Watcher, if I thought it would help.
Okay, you're just mental, though.
The cost of troubling me seems to worry you little.
Okay. Tell me more about Magron. Stare too long into the fire and you might blind yourself. That and touching yourself might do the same. My God. What's your view on
She's a
Magron?
goddess, as fickle as they come, and with all the failings you'd expect of an empress and a whore. Too many eyes, too many wants, too much to hold on to. That's the failing of a god. More aspects than words to describe her, like most of them. A god with many nations to oversee, only serves to spread herself too thin.
The audio did not play for her clergy share the same failings. And he's one of her clergy, so he's fickle and crazy. Although the flame rarely crosses twice, so perhaps that is the only truth she embraces. Who knows? Gods are greedy. When it comes to fire, fire is a god's hunger. What are her aspects? War transforms, fire consumes. Trials purify. Warfare, fire, consuming, purification, and most of all, transforming. Trials as well, but all things are put to the test anyway. A trial can consume, purify, or transform. They're all linked, although it has, at its heart is the flame, and the flame is what matters. It is the source of all things. Guess they should have started with that. Any fool around the campfire knows that. Without flames, fire, we have made a little progress in the dark. Aha! To hear some of the inner fires... What? To hear some of the inner fires tell it around the hearth and bellows, even in the halls of Ashfall, you'd think that fire brought life to man, and that fire was Magron. Some of the older texts say she rubbed her hands together and they burst into flame, and another god shafted her like a poker. Or another god shafted her like a poker. What? There are different perspectives on her then. You see, this is the thing. You're telling me, oh, it's the truth. It's the truth. My doctrine is the truth. But you're just like, you've got 3 different versions of everything. There are different perspectives on her then. Mine is the only sight amongst many. But here's one. Mine is the only sight amongst many, but here's one. I can speak to how the losing side sees her, and that should tell you enough. Let me speak to what an Adran sees. And what does an Adran see? The Adraeans, their remixes. Don't know what that noise was. Badly done beatboxing. Adraeans have a proper polite translation for her. Excellence in war and tactical discipline. That's why they lost the fucking colony, of course. They were probably still quoting that while we had them bent across the decks. Oh, okay, Durance. All their guns and cannons are fine, but useless when your staff is crackling light into their skulls, dispensing red gifts left and right. Adraeans call that elevation, divine awareness. Those words are as welcome as shit on one's boots, and that's all they took back with them while they were running. A lesson learned at the wrong time. Almost feel a pang of sympathy for them. Almost. A lesson, what do you mean? The title of a god isn't knowing a god, adhering to the words rather than walking the path, testing yourself in the heat of it. Walk until the words are stripped away and you feel it burning in your heart. That is the lesson. The Adrian politeness, that pretty adherence to words of scripture as they saw it, that burned their ships, scarred them, kept them from running through the Deerwood campaign. Kept them running throughout the Deerwood campaign. Divine awareness, that's no faith in wait. There is no faith in waiting to be tested. The best in battle have already shit themselves plenty. Shit themselves until they're dry and can focus on the killing. Okay. I have other questions.
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
Yeah. We did Magrin. History. Do you think there's a tie between the Hollowborn and the Godhammer? Can you tell me about the Hollowborn? Do you know anything about Deerwood and surrounding nations? Tell me about the Saints' War. What is the Godhammer? Tell me more about the Hollowborn.
That's a curse that runs deeper. It's a Godhammer of a different sort. And like the Godhammer, it was made by men's hands.
Yeah, we know that. We've gotten to that part of the story. We know all of this. All things have a price. Left unchecked, the faithlessness virtue. It leaves marks on the soul until souls don't have enough strength to enter bodies that are pure. Animancers, ciphers, all who play games with the fabric of the souls are to blame for the barren field they have left behind. We know that's not true. We know that it's the leaden key. Even watchers can do the same. Some simply watch, others try to weave souls, guide them as surely as Widewane across the Yvonne Duer. That is why I correct... What? That is why I correct the Hollowborn when I find them. What do you mean, correct the Hollowborn? And the ones whose hands have led to the seed being spilled on the ground. What do you mean, correct them?
There are fewer souls. There are more vessels. It is simply equaling of the process.
That's murder.
I feel more remorse in putting down a slathering hound. A wict? Less than a mongrel in its misery. Murder is a kindness, not a crime. Always has been. I would sooner put the blade to those who are to blame instead. If any spirit should be punished, it's theirs.
And who is to blame? The fields of Direwood are filled with weakness, ripe for those that play with souls and minds. Animancers and their kind, watchers too, they bear more than the burden of their victims and more of the punishment. Every year has been a new crime, the Saints' War, the Hollowborn, and the Salvation. There's no proof that watchers are to blame for these events. There are few who can shape the soul in such a fashion, and any watcher, any true watcher born of the Deerwood would be able to see the crime even if they did not cause it. Silence itself is damning. Why don't you end me then?
Murder you? I would not grant you any of them. The mercy I grant the Hollowborn. You would not be deserving of it.
You equate murder with mercy?
Murder is an old word. Mercy is letting a soul fly free to the next body. True punishment? Ruining someone to their soul. Crack their spirit like you would crack their skulls with a staff. Beat them. Hurt them in mind and body, so their souls become shards. But you leave it inside the vessel, like a bag of glass, to either choke on it or pass it through their bloody stool.
Okay.
Then, leave it in the body to think on it, like planting a new field with the right seed.
That sounds like you've committed it to
Many
memory.
marks may I make upon your flesh, but flame leaves marks that cannot heal. Magrin doctrine dictates true punishment is one that remains in memory, in the soul, in the flesh. Even should the victims die, slowly or swift, sometimes by their own hand afterwards, the lesson lingers, burned in their flesh.
That seems harsh.
Have you seen a man branded by flame?
No one
He
wants
remembers it always, in every waking movement. It is a lesson writ in the only ink and vellum that matters, blood and flesh.
that. Blood and flesh.
One can burn the soul as well. It is an art, and I do not take pleasure in it. But there is more at stake here than forgiveness. Many of Aethus's faith were punished in the purges following the Saints' War. And the ones that harmed children, they suffered worse. We did what must be done. Wherever they were rooted out, their souls reclaimed. And if they couldn't be reclaimed, we ensured they
Jesus,
would never
Durrance,
inhabit
everyone's gone
another
real
body.
evil on this one. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the region and its history. Are you a servant of Well? Let mysteries and questions remain with him, at least until the next time we need rest. Okay. He doesn't want to talk to us anymore. Now, if I rest again, we picked the Towers bonus. Can I get 2 bonuses? If I go Training Ground bonus, can I get Might as well? Let's try that. No, we can only have one of these bonuses. Yeah, war makes people do awful stuff. Yeah. Well, I think Durrance is also just mental. Right. I think we need to... How much time is there before this attack happens? 3 days and 5 hours. Okay, I definitely want the accuracy bonus more than I want the damage bonus. So we just get the accuracy bonus and we're going to resolve the attack. Let's resolve the attack. Now this is going to annoy me again. This is a big issue with this game. Right? One, I forgot to save. Oh, wow. Okay, they're outdoors. Okay. And all our units are in the wrong spots. Okay, what have we got to fight? They don't appear to have any casters. So let us... Oh, wow, the Warden of the Wilds is just immediately going to die. Like, in the split second before I saved, 8 hours pass, Sellsword activates Swift Aim, Kana begins chanting Chant 4. He's damaged Faith Mental. Yeah, like... Okay. Let's target this guy. The Warden is going to fight these bears. That's a lot of bears. Everyone fight the next enemy. Fight the next enemy. Durrance, I want you to stun a load of enemies.
How may I help?
Wizard, I want you to confuse a load of enemies. Okay. Woohoo! I have a large yellow banana for Club Mental. I cut things open to let the pain out. Okay, yeah.
Perfect work.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's it.
Our individual murder-based plan is going great. Gold-packed paladin next.
Hey.
You can flip him on his back.
That's not very helpful.
Who did we lose? It's hard to see who's who because of the confusion spell.
That's not very helpful.
Following your lead.
Summon a bunch of dragons. Dragons target this guy. Okay, we just won. But who did we lose? Who did we lose? Yeah, these defense missions, I think they need a little bit more like the guys come running in. Maybe we could position our guys a little bit.
Amazing. You could fit a whole village
We
in
lost
here.
a bunch of people. We only have 5 guys. We lost 3 people. Wow. We lost our psionicist. I'm gonna do that battle again. The bear is always okay. I'm gonna do the battle again. No. We lost our hireling psionicist. As soon as the fight starts, I pause. Our Dundred Scion. They're really good. I don't even know where they are on the map.
What?
There he is.
What?
Durance, get some healing over there for our friends. Okay.
I'm here.
Yeah, look, he's getting wrecked. He's getting wrecked here. Do that again, Endurance.
Following your lead.
Ready, Watcher.
Oh. Okay. We've already lost one thing. But if it's replaceable, yeah, look. So we can hire this guy back. He's not a problem guy. We can only have one of each thing, so it seems weird. Gold Pact Paladin, I think.
What?
Endurance, I want you to bless everyone who is on our side. But we're going to try and drop it so we don't get people who are charmed.
Yes?
And I want you to fire this spell. This guy. Okay. Wow, someone else died. Our Berethan cleric. Let's hire a new one.
Can't get a good
Lava room beyond seek!
What?
Just keep doing AoE heals. At least the cutest cat is still alive? Yeah.
Yes.
Geo has no target. Target this sellsword. The bear has no target. Target. Dog. Target.
Ready, Watcher.
Target.
The Baru beyond seek.
Okay. Okay, that was a better playthrough. But yeah, the defense is just like, we've got really good defense. Maybe I should just let it go automatic? Okay, no one's dead.
Amazing. You could fit a whole village in here.
Of course.
And the only equipment is this exceptional arquebus. What is that exceptional arquebus? Fine arquebus, exceptional arquebus. Now this one we've enchanted a bunch, but exceptional is very good. It does 51 damage. It's much better. What have you got? You've got Yours isn't even fine. Oh, it is. It's fine. Kith, slaying, freezing lash. Compare. The new one does more damage. Has yet to be enchanted. Pop that in for a bit. We'll see how it works out. Can we not enchant this? This exceptional arquebus is not enchantable. Okay, well that's weird.
Hey.
And where's all the stuff that these people dropped? Weird. Oh, it's been brought into the treasury. No, this is all just stuff. Witch's hat could be interesting.
Hey.
What does the witch's hat do? 8 charges plus 2 intellect. I mean, it's not a bad hat. It's just not as good as +1 to perception. Huh. Okay. Corrode proof, crush proof, pierce proof. Pierce proofs could be good. Because guns do pierce. I don't know. I feel like the price of doing anything is that I don't know what we're gonna get out of it later. Different psionicist, different psionicist. Let's head for Twin Elms or Elm Twines or I'm Elm Pine or whatever the name of the goddamn planet is. Planet? Not really on top of anything today, am I?
I must say, I'm impressed.
I thought we'd get more loot out of that attack. Good evening, black-robed one. Okay. We are heading for Hearth Song. To try and get to Elm's Reach. To try and get to Twin Elms. It'll take 1 day and 18 hours. I was telling everyone about my Pistolier and Hida Owen's Avenger. Telling everyone. Hireling payday. We have to pay them a lot of money. Oh yeah, I forgot about the free plate mail. Search Twin Elms for the signs of the guy. Estimore, still!
Tread carefully, Estromor.
You should have given Enya universal... A free ghost? Oh, yes. So I didn't mention that. That it is a set of character classes that we've ended up with. So what am I? I'm a elementalist wizard, mage. Hidoan is an avenger, which is a type of fighter, and Universal Enya is a special kind of cleric-y thing, but also a ghost hunter. A ghost viewer. A medium? No. Oh, yes, and we have the most secret... We have the most secret and least secret societies in the world. That's right. They're like, we are a secret society that stand against the enemies. And where do you do that? Very publicly. You must be in full regalia at all time. Are you supposed to be sneaky? Shut up. Another fugitive from the burning city. The 6 tribes of Gilfa welcome you to Twin Elms. Before you lies the Heartsong district. Feel free to explore it, but do not let your feet stray to the other districts. Those are forbidden to Estromor. What can you tell me more about Twin Pines? Twin Elms. The city is sacred to all Gilfahans, as it is the place where our ancestors first encountered the Builders. Bob the Builders? That fated meeting turned our people from generations of wandering to a permanent home amongst the Builders' relics. When the Builders commanded us to settle here, they allowed us the unique privilege to live among their structures here. It is the only place in Gilfa where this is permitted. The sacred city is divided into 4 districts. Hearthsong, the common district. Old Song, the site of our temples. Elm's Reach, the home of Delgaman and Druids. And the Burial Isle, which is the most sacred place in the city. Remington Lova. Luva. The Lion of Ilolk. I'd like to hear about Heartsong. This is Heartsong. It is a place where Gilfahans and Estromorans may gather together. It is also the site of the Passage of the Six, where our tribal leaders, the Anam Faha, meet. The Soul Fathers? The Soul Fathers. He points to a large round building on the other end of the district. That way is the market. Guard your purse there. No one bargains like a Gilfahan. And if you need a place to stay, follow the fence to the east. You will find a way to the Celestial Saplings. Which temples lie in Old Song? There's Noonfrost, which is dedicated to Rimgand. A group of pale elves from the frozen Northlands arrived not long ago to oversee it. There is also the Nest, a temple of Hylia, and Gallowin's Maw, a den of beasts dedicated to the hunter god. The route to the Burial Isle also lies that way, but we're not allowed to go there. Tell me more about Elm's Reach. There lies Ter Evron, one of the only towers of the Builders still in perfect condition. Oh, we're going to have to wreck that. 2 great elm trees entwine around it. Even the mightiest works of the gods protect the works of the builders. 2 Delangan sisters dwell there now. They're dryads. The Hall of Warriors stands at the other end of the district. Rumor has it that the Soul Father Simuk of 3 Tusk Stelgar is there now. Elm's Reach is also where the druids keep their halls. There are the Oviates of the Golden Grove, the Echnich Knoll of Blood Sands. Many shudder at the brutal sacrifices of that person, but High Octave Arona High Ovate is just as powerful in her own way. Okay. What about Burial Isle? It is a place where our Anamphas are laid to rest amongst the stones placed by the builders. They say the souls of some of them linger there still. The way lies through Old Song. It is the holiest of places in all of the area. Okay. That's all I wanted to hear. Why is it forbidden to enter the remaining districts? Twin Elms is a sacred city built where the first keepers of the stone met the builders. It exists alongside the works of the builders. It is the only place in all of Ergelfa where it is permitted to set foot amongst those sacred places. The Estromora, however, do not have the proper respect for the stones here. The words trigger something in your memory. You see an image of a perfect cube of Adra, and just as quickly the image fades. Oh shit. The leader of one of the tribes could give you permission to enter give you permission of the city. Only Bethel is present at the passage site today. She has her own troubles. I haven't heard of the Keepers of the Stone. The oldest of the 6 tribes. Up the stairs and to the passage of the into the passage of the 6. This is where our Soul Fathers gather. Guided compass can tell you more. Okay. Who are the builders? You know them as the Ingwithans. To us, they are the builders, the creator of sacred places that we guard to this day. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Best that you keep your visit brief. Word has reached our ears that the riots have ended and the gates of Defiance Bay are open once more. Okay.
Hey.
Never been out this way before. Hard to believe it's the same country.
Jimmy, thank you for doing the shout out for Black Road one. Okay, there's a whole town here. Passage of the 6. The market. A home. The Old Song District. Another home. The Builder's Heart. Another house. The Old Song District. And the Celestial Sapling. And we're not allowed go anywhere else. We're not allowed to go anywhere else. Okay, well. A lot of people hanging around, but there was a market. Child. Why do you wear such funny clothes? Hunters and bear companions. Okay, is that the market? Okay, that is the market. The market, you've got to go to the market to buy your crap. Oh, wow. Plorn Taliesin. You fear vibrating. Okay, let's look at his soul. You see an Orlan man crouching over a half-drawn map, intently shading line by careful line. The notes he works from smell of salt and sea, water-smudged scribbles, bracing a mess of illustrations and measurements. He finishes each stroke with precision before moving to the next, slow and deliberate, nothing out of place. A bell tolls lightly in the distance and he pauses. Replacing the quill with a dagger, he slides into his belt. Opening the door into his shop, he assumes a smile and engages his customer, an older dwarf with grey-stained beard. The dwarf inquires about a few items, trying on a few pieces of armor, a pair of bracers, but nothing seems to garner his interest. With a harumph, the dwarf leaves, a little too hurried, a little too nervous. The shopkeeper grunts, taking a crossbow down from the wall and locking the door behind him. Beneath the tolling of the bell, the impact of the crossbow bolt barely makes a sound as it stops the thief in his tracks. The shopkeeper strolls over to the wailing man, unconcerned as he rifles through his pockets. A potion there, a pouch of silver coins, several skulls. He had done well, just not well enough. These are all about thieving. All of these people's little stories are about thieving. Or murder. You see a child, a heavy chain running from her wrist to the wall, scrubbing a kitchen tile with deliberate slowness. The stain is dark and heavy, but she scrubs for hours, failing to notice the passage of time, failing to greet the moon as it rises. Her small face is hard and dry as she scrubs. When she is done, the kitchen is raw and fresh, ready for a new day. But she is not done yet. Well, then she's not done. When she is done, she's not done. That's crazy talk. Trembling, she approaches the body in the corner. The whites of her eyes grow ever larger as she reaches into a pocket, grasping for freedom, finding it in the form of a key. She does not notice the blood smeared on her blouse or the stares of the townspeople as she runs towards the shoreline and the docks in the distance. Okay, that was a murder and a escaping kidnapped person. You see a band of elves tread warily through the undergrowth, hands right tight on weapons, eyes locked on the forest floor. They move silently, fluidly, a team practiced in the art of the hunt. A distant thud sends birds panicking into the sky. The group changes course towards the source of the sound. In the lead, a tightly strung bowman scouts, so alert he trembles. Vaulting over an exposed root, he holds a hand in the air, and the group pauses, taking cover behind time-gnarled trunks. There is a moment of stillness before the forest itself rises up to greet them. The creature is enormous, twice the size of any elf, and its endless seeming arms of vine snap towards its assailants, snatching at ankles and arms, legs. One elf goes down and is thrown into one of the trees with a rending crack. Another slips, jumping to avoid the snake-like vines, and before he can react, a vine is around his waist. The air is blurred with arrows as the lead bowman lets loose, giving his companions time to recover. An unearthly howl sounds as a rapier slices through one of the creature's arms, incapacitating it momentarily. Taking his chance, the bowman switches arrows, lighting the wet shafts with a slick blue fire. The monstrous mass of vines screeches as the flames take their toll, lashing out at any who would come near. Two elves lie unconscious on the ground, another is dead. An enormous dent in his skull. The creature falls, finally, but there are no cheers, no celebrations. The group is somber as they collect their dead and wounded. creepy visions. That's this game. They're supposed to have gold nameplates in order to have visions.
Many blessings, traveler.
Oh, you have the look of a hunter, Estermore. Derwin's weapons may protect the man who seeks out misfortune, but my supplies will help you survive out in the wilds. Let me see your wares. Okay. We can't afford any of this. We probably could if we sold stuff. Oh, he sells dragon's eggs. Just like that. And freezing pillar traps and poison cloud traps. And an ebony spider figurine for 18,000. I forgot we have one of those. Camping supplies. Talutane's staff. It's just a normal staff, but it grants Fireball 3 times per rest. That's fantastic. Except Fireball turns out to not be good on this game because you can't get positioning right. In the dark corner of Old Valia, far from the influence of civil society, story tells of a school constructed for the training of wizards. In a very small and obscure niche of magic long forgotten by the rest of the world, High Masters of the school was an elven mage known as Talutane, who became aware of a growing problem. The aura cast by the school's particular magic was like a beacon to unsavory creatures of the surrounding area. Marauding trolls from nearby moors assailed its walls regularly. The High Master resolved to take action, and in his study he crafted a fearsome staff to incinerate the trolls. As much as that seemed important at the time, the demanding and short-tempered man soon became preoccupied with other uses he discovered for his staff, namely the punishment of unruly students that would come to predominate its function in the ensuing years. So it's not a bad staff. It's got a bit of reach, but it casts Fireball 3 times per rest. And it's cheap. No, it's $3 grand. Okay. Unique Blunderbuss. Inflicts Disorientation for 5 seconds. Unique Pistol. It doesn't seem that unique to me. It's an exceptional pistol. I don't know. But that staff that casts Fireball... Oh my god, I'm yawning. What's this? It's a necklace, usable only by Paladin. Okay. Right, well, we're not buying any of your stuff right now.
Hey.
Builder's wisdom to you.
An old elven woman clothed in thick robes beckons you to approach. Welcome, foreigner, welcome. Her arms are splotched with green and blue stains, wiggle out of her hanging sleeves like caterpillars out of ripe fruits. I've got what you seek, come and see. She bows and smiles and points to a little girl behind the herbalist store. We're here to help you, foreigner. Yes, we are. The Fisher Crane tribe serves your people. Why are you offering us a child game? Oh, okay, she's just a worker. Let's see what you have for sale. Of course, foreigner, of course. Potions, drugs, rubies. Bereth spell. We actually want all the Bereth spell you've got. White Adra. I don't want to spend too much on resources. We can check what we need. Okay. Does that give me enough to enchant another thing with Kith Slaying? This has Kith Slaying. That has Kith Slaying. Can your thing get... You have Kith Slaying. You have Kith Slaying. Oh, you have Kith Slaying already. Can't enchant you. Okay, Kith Slaying. Excellent. Excellent. Always be slaying Kith. Let's not worry about your crossbow just yet. Let's put some Shocking Lash on it just to get a little extra damage.
All right, then.
Now what does the next one say?
All right, then.
Hail, Estremor.
Tell me of your trade. My life is simple and makes a poor tale. I tend to gardens and my herd, and my family picks delicious fruit. Okay. Okay, they just sell food and camping supplies. Blackroot one's heading off. Alrighty then.
Hey.
We're doing a shopping adventure.
Many blessings, traveler.
Ah, I see you heard it. A good blade has a voice and it sings. Oh, okay. Weapon called you forward. Tell me about your craft. My weapons speak for themselves. Every man and woman in this market knows my worth. Even Tamara. I hear the knowledge of my father held and my mother had before him. Take up one of my blades and hold a weapon 5 generations in the making. They've not wasted such fine weapons on Estremor. I say good weapons lying in the rack are true waste. Okay, but like...
Builder's wisdom to you.
Show me your wares. Okay. She does have some interesting weapons. A unique club. Exceptional hunting bow. Fine hunting bow, 6 grand. Fine morning star. Exceptional battle axes. Exceptional clubs. Okay, so she does make pretty good stuff. But she doesn't have an exceptional war bow. So we're using a bow called Cloud Piercer. Studio 59 was a unique club. Studio 59? Right, so this hunting bow... Oh, the hunting bow is faster than Cloud Piercer. Right. So that's the advantage of the hunting bow. It's faster. But Cloud Piercer is just so much better than this. So it does 27 damage. It grants Jolting Touch on a critical hit. It kills Kith. It does extra freeze damage. It bypasses 3 damage reduction. Yeah, we're not replacing it with that bow. But what have you got bow-wise? So you're using a Musak hunting bow, which is fast. That's great. It's got a shorter range by 1 meter. It does less damage, except for the fact we've enchanted it out the wazoo. How are you doing? So she could actually make use of... Oh, but hers does... She can do crush damage with it. So she can do crush damage, for example, if you wanted to target a undead. Right. Well, in that case, you're not doing anything.
Hey.
And then we talk to Tamara. Strange weather all week. Do not see any drop. Oh my god. I am exhausted.
Many blessings, traveler.
I am literally falling asleep. I went to the gym today, and I still can't run. I will probably be able to run back on Monday, but I'm going to have to go back to week 3 because I've had a week where I haven't been running, and I want to rebuild up, which is a huge setback because we'd gotten to week 5. Tired after strange weather. Yes. And anyway, I went to the gym. I didn't do running, but I did stationary bike instead to protect my heel. And I did 10 kilometers in 20 something minutes, with the slopes, like the difficulty set to like half of maximum, which is miles away from where I was before I started the running. When I was using the stationary bike before the running, I had it on like 2 points below maximum, like 20% below maximum, maybe. No, 10%. Yeah, something like that. Pretty high up. But now the running has like taken a lot of muscle out of my legs. You get more greyhoundy when you do the running. But I did a load of exercise in the gym, and I did 20 minutes in the sauna, and the 20 minutes in the sauna really helped my leg. But I am fall asleep tired now. This tall woman is clad in furred hides. She settles a sharp, dark-eyed gaze on you. I hold the best hides in Irgelfa. Hides so thick the Stelgar cannot claw through them. Boots so supple they will smother the sound of your steps. What's your trade? I bear it on my skin. I sell hides from every one of Galawan's beasts. Estremore come from every village to see them, and know us for great hunters. Every hide bears the tale of a great hunt. Our traders bear them in turn to every corner of the land. So let me see them. Exceptional leather armor. Poison traps. Great, I don't want any of that.
Hey.
Right. We're done with this shop. Oh my god, pure luxury. 2.5 hour nap. Ooh, 22 degrees. It was... When I left Blackrobed One's house on Wednesday, and I got in my car, it was 11 o'clock at night, and it was still 20 degrees. I was not thrilled with the heat. But the sauna really is helping with it. You're going to have like a vision. Okay. Lorelei Rosethorn. You see a ragged child, oil lamp in hand, making her way down an alleyway. Mud-encrusted socks on small, numb feet push forward despite the cold. She has eyes only for the barn ahead, the soft hay inside. She fumbles with the lock, hairpin in hand. Despite the cold, she unlocks the door with expert fingers. She slips her gaunt frame inside. Somewhere between closing the door and falling onto the floor, the lamp slips from her grasp. Flames try the hay tentatively and find it to their liking, reaching faster, further. The girl screams. Outside, a woman whips through the streets, chasing shouts and smoke. Her hands are moving before she sees the flames, and from her fingertips erupt 3 near-invisible missiles of force. They shatter the barn door, but the fire delights in company and roars larger in response. The screaming has stopped. Skinning herself with iron. In iron, the woman mutters a prayer and pushes forward into the inferno. Fire screeches, starving, and she responds with fury and frost and hail. She will not be swayed. The fire is defeated. The child is weak, chest dry, and seared with smoke, but alive. The woman carries her out to cheers and applause. Molten sweat dribbles down her silver face. Is she a robot?
Hey.
Passage of the Six. All tribes have a place of honor here. Oh, I might not make it to the end of the stream. I am fall down tired. Why am I so tired? It's not fair. Tribeswoman. Oh. Cross. The twice split arrows. Okay. The 3 Tusk Stelgar. Oh, these are the names of their tribes. The Fisher Crane. The Stone Bramble. Kroze. You see a small murder of crows gathered on a dirt path that cuts through some dry farmland. They follow this Orlan, who is slowly making his way down the path. They sometimes hop, sometimes fly, gliding after him, but always staying behind. Occasionally, one will alight briefly on his shoulder, only to quickly take wing again and rejoin its kin. As he nears a small village, a crow lands on his shoulder and begins cawing excitedly. The Orlans smile and nods as if agreeing. He takes a small crumb of bread from a pocket in his cloak and gives it to the crow, who grabs it with its beak and flies a small distance away to eat its prize in peace. Small children, drawn by the noise made by the crow, rush out to see who this approaching stranger could be. When he has a sufficient audience, the Orlan lifts both hands at his side as if they were trained. The crows flock to him, landing on his hands and arms. They rock, cawing almost in unison as he stands there quietly humming a lively tune. He looks at the children and begins to tell them strange facts. He tells them of the different caws the crows can make and what they mean. He tells them of a pecking order of crow kings and queens long past, the times of their reigns. He does this for some time, all while with his arms bearing the weight of 6 crows. At length his arms seem to tire and he drops them again. The crows take flight, spiraling over his head, then gliding off in all directions. A black feathery tornado dissipating in the fading light of day. The children's delighted screams echo down the roads as they run back towards town. The Orlan stands alone on the road, watching his crows disappear in the distance.
Hey,
The Keepers of the Stone. The guided compass. I'm very tired. I fell asleep. Did I? What happened there? Let me just check that real briefly. I want to have a look at that. I want to check some. I also now realize I need to check how much storage space I have left. That's something that always goes wrong on stream. We only have 6 gigs of storage space left. We only have 6 gigs of storage space left. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, well, we're halfway through the stream. We're halfway through the stream, right? Okay, we're going to have to risk it. We're going to have to risk it. Yeah, so a stream usually takes 8 gigs. We have 6. This is going to be real close.
hey.
Did I? What happened there? Nods as if agreeing. He takes a small he takes a small crumb of bread from a pocket in his cloak and gives it to the crow, who grabs it with its beak and flies a small distance away to eat its prize in peace. Small children, drawn by the noise made by the crow, rush out to see who this approaching stranger could be. When he has a sufficient audience, the Orlan lifts both hands at his side as if they were trained. The crows flock to him, landing on his hands and arms. Why am I so tired? They rock, cawing almost in unison as he stands there quietly humming a lively tune. He looks at the children and begins to tell them strange facts. He tells them of the different calls the crows can make and what they mean. He tells...
Hey.
Yawn. The Keepers of the Stone. The guided compass. Wow. I did a little micro sleep. I just watched. I was looking for there. There's just a moment here. That is crazy. It's been a long time since anything like that has happened to me. Let me just go over here. Hold on. Look, watch this. That's bad. Am I okay? So see me here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Right? Oh. Right, so look, watch my eyes. Watch my eyes. They're closed. They're open again. I was asleep there. I'm very tired. And then I start saying, I'm very tired. I fell asleep. I don't, like, in that moment, I didn't know how long I'd been asleep for. And then I'm real confused. What happened there? Let me just check that real briefly. And that's why we're checking it. That's Crazy Cuckoo's Bananas. That's Crazy Cuckoo Bananas. It's Wednesday. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Let's press on. We might end 10 minutes early just to make sure we don't run out of space on the drive. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know how much space there is left. I know how much space. There's 6 gigs of space left. I suspect I have a lot of space I can free up very quickly, but I think we're going to have to pay more attention to it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. We're going to be tight for space. But let's play on. We're halfway through the stream.
What do you want?
A middle-aged Orlan woman stands at the back of the log house, an expression of irritation on her narrow features. As you approach, she takes a decisive step towards you. Another Estromor, what do you want? Sagini leans in. This woman's... Careful. This woman's young for an elder and looks to prove herself, I think. I am looking for another who passed through the city.
Few Estromoran are given the freedom of our sacred city. That you ask for this person is suspicious.
What?
There are reasons we don't let you Estromoran roam our sacred city.
Yeah.
Reasons I am coming to understand.
She's an elder like a Mormon missionary is an elder. Has something happened recently? Whatever the reasons are, they're nothing to do with me. You must let me through. I didn't ask to get through. I said I wanted to look for a person who showed up. I specifically didn't pick the option that was I want to roam around your holy city. Fuck you, game. Sorry, that's very rude of me. Has something happened recently? Whatever the reason, you must let me through. I've urgent matters to attend to elsewhere. Perhaps you can work out an arrangement. I have no wish to cause a stir. You're having some kind of trouble? Maybe I could help. I'm afraid not.
Looters have grown bolder at the sites of the builders. The people of Defiance Bay set fire to their own city. And every week, the 3 Tusk Stelgar bring news of more desperate settlers pushing at our borders, trying to escape their plague of Anolfane children.
Plague of Anolfane. Soulless children. Suddenly you feel the presence of someone else in the hall. Oh god, no! Continues to glare at you, but something has stepped out of her skin. It reaches out to you. Oh, we're gonna have to fight this guy.
Permitting more strangers the freedom of the city is out of the question right now. Go and be thankful that Anamphath Shimak doesn't sit in the passage of the Six today. He would not be so kind as I.
Oh God. Lore 10? Oh. See, so we have a scroll. Right. We have a scroll that can boost our lore. A vision of an Orlan man appears near Bethel. He has the same green brown fur and hazel eyes. Help me reason with them. He points behind you. Turning, you see the ghostly shapes of five other Anamafa, another Orlan with tawny fur and a scarred face, and a frowning dwarf, and a black-furred Orlan, and 2 elves. Mad. Where's my button? Mad. Perception 14. You're angry about something. I hear it in your voice. What is it? I'd love to do lore 10. We have a means of being lore 10 before we have this conversation. But again, the conversation triggered as soon as I got to a certain point. I should have had to click on the person. Because you can't know. Like, I was like, because I have this prepped for when I talk to people. I'm like, what can we buff before we talk to people? Perception 14, you're mad about something. Are the outrages I listed for you not enough? Trouble brews, none of it is my choosing. The spectral Orlan takes another step from her, setting foot down in a slow, heavy motion. Tendrils of essence strain between them. He grimaces and leans forward as if struggling against a gale. The angry Anam-Fa wince. War. The spectral Orlan's voice is a raspy croak. They're headed for war. Reminds them of Ferretwilt's warning. Does Ferretwilt's warning mean anything to you? Ferretwilt's soul image gasps. Taunt threads of essence tug at him, drawing back into the Anam-Fa. He looks you up and down. I tried to tell them. The builders' souls have touched even the Estromor.
You'd better explain yourself.
The 2 attending tribesmen look from the Soul Father to you, swords at the ready. You'd better explain yourself. This other Orlan, do you know who he is? There are souls in this place, and you must listen to them. The Builder's souls touch even the Estromor.
There's no way you could have known this saying. Not unless you are a Galuth on Anams, a watcher of souls.
Anams, souls. Yeah. Yes, I'm a watcher. Ferrilt tried to warn the other tribes about something. What was it?
Ferrilt's warning came before the Broken Stone War. Ferrilt, my ancestor on my mother's side, was Anamphath of our tribe then. When the Estromoric farmers defiled the builders' monuments, Ferrilt urged the other Anamphatha to patience.
Oh my god.
But louder, angrier voices prevailed.
Well, that's never good. Need one of those cat-dog talking pads. That's exactly what we were going for.
Ferrilt believed that the invaders could be taught to respect the builders as we do. He also believed the builders' souls had spread to all peoples, and that we should avoid needless conflict with others. More practically, he worried that a violent response would only spur further bloodshed across the generations, and you can see where we are today.
After 2 wars, his warning is more relevant than ever. At least you don't have the Hollowborn to deal with. Maybe you're better off than you thought. Perhaps the problem is you weren't firm enough. What do you mean? Just what do you mean?
While Ferrilt's words were shrewd, They were ignored back then. Simply remembering his warning now will not undo the wars and the changes that the years have seen. There is blood on these stones, and that is all anyone remembers now.
At this point, we just want to defeat the Leaden Key. Are you allied with the Leaden Key? Because if you are, then we're in trouble. And if you're not, then they're the bad uns. An image of a polished Adra cube flashes in your mind. There's writing on the sides, but the image is too faint for you to read it. The Anamfa turn away from you and look at the ground, gnawing on a pointed claw. You can't change the past, but your choices still matter. Yes, that's the problem.
Another Estremor came through here a few
Thank you.
days ago, and, well, letting him through was a mistake. One I am eager not to repeat. The Guided Compass tribe has a reputation for being too soft with Estremoran, one that will not be improved by my failure to stop this man who has desecrated our most sacred sites.
And we just want to gank him for you. I know nothing of this man. What's the harm in letting me through? Now's the time to fix things. Maybe I could help. That sounds like the man I've come here to stop.
I won't repeat a mistake in my haste to correct it. We bar twin elms from Estremoran to protect the ancient places that the builders left behind. The builders left this heritage to us to defend, but they alone had access to it. On this much, at least the 6 tribes agree.
Sure, but you gave that man access and he wrecked it, and now he's in there and he's continuing to wreck it. You can't go in. I'm going to go and kill him. Again, you see a polished Adra cornerstone in your mind. This time the image is clearer. Each face of the stone is inscribed with a phrase you know by heart. You feel your lips form words. A gift from the builders of civilization to the guardians of their legacy. May the guardians watch the door while the builders keep the key.
These were the words given to the keepers of the stone.
What do they mean? They mean that Furwell's words may indeed come true.
Very well. The city is yours to explore. Tell the guard at the gate that you come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Guided Compass. If the gods have truly returned one of the builders to us, find the Delimgon of Ter Evron in Elm's Reach. If the gods have sent you here with a purpose, the Delimgon will know.
You are stalling me so he can continue to do his crimes. In the meantime, I shall be here to assist you. We gain 1,000 experience points. I'd like to know more about you. I am the Alpha of the Gilded Compass. Like many of the Soul Fathers, I have leadership in my blood. The tribal authority is not strictly hereditary. We believe in strong leaders can impart a portion of their soul to their children and grandchildren, meaning that they may succeed from a single line of many generations. Okay. Of course, with all that's happened here, I've wondered whether my family line is coming to an end with me. No, thank you. Is there something else you know? What about the 6 tribes? Divided into 6 tribes, further divided into clans. Each tribe is united in a particular history or way of life. The clans are communities of families that live together. The truth are more than 6 tribes, but the 6 largest have traditionally led the others. Each of the 6 has a seat here in the Passage of the 6, and we discuss matters of common interest. You saw, for instance, the debate that occurred before the Broken Stone War. The 6 tribes are the Keepers of the Stone, the Fisher Crane, the 3-Tusked Stelgar, Stone Bramble, the Twice-Split Arrows, and of course the Gilded Compass. The Guided Compass. I'm not familiar with the 2 split arrows. Not many are. They're traditionally outcasts and exiles from the other tribes. Probably the least respected tribe of them all. But our ancestors believed that they could have a voice, so they get a seat amongst the 6. So it's just like anyone who doesn't fit in. Most of the other tribes see them as scavengers and bottom feeders, but don't say that to a twice split arrow. They think of themselves as survivors. They're as proud of their tribe as anyone else. They'll accept anyone, and I suppose there's a virtue in that. You never know what you're getting with them, though. Some clans will rob you blind, and others will slaughter a lamb to honor your visit. Okay, what about the Keepers of the Stone? The first and oldest of the tribes. The first sailed here. They met the builders who gave them the cornerstone, and the words are quoted as a token of friendship. Many of the tribes, even amongst the six, look to the Keepers for guidance and leadership. Their long history grants them a place of honor in our society. They also made them more conservative. Who are the Fisher Crane? A mostly Orland tribe from the Thean Bog. Most of the sites they guard are half buried in the wetlands, and even other tribes can't tell you where they are. They're not the most renowned of the tribes, but they are the cleverest and subtlest. Say what you will about the berserking Three Trusk Stelgar, I'd rather face them than the Fisher Crane ambush squad any day. They're named after the long-necked birds that live in the bog. It can stand motionless for hours waiting for a muck frog or spotted salamander, but when it strikes, it's as fast as anything. Okay. Who are the Tree Tusked Stelgar? Same as everybody, they're fearless maniacs. They want everyone to know it. They're considered a wild bunch. Many of their territories have seen the most conflicts. They don't forget. They don't want anyone else to forget either. They inflicted and bore some of the heaviest casualties during the war with the Estromor. In fact, there was a rift within their tribe after the War of the Black Trees. Dozens of clans broke away from the ravaged lands and retreated further into the Deerwoods, joining whichever tribes would take them. Broken tusks, some call them. The majority of the tribe dug into the half-buried burned forests to hold the line, and many respect them for it. They've more than earned their place among the six. They advocate more conflict than is wise, and too many others are quick to idolize them for their valor in battle. Who are the Stone Bramble? Mostly dwarves out of the White March. They are one of the younger tribes formed over the years by trade routes between the wilds and the mountains. They see themselves as genuine Gilfahan. Who can argue with them? Only the Fisher Crane defends sites in such inhospitable territory. Ah. Okay. Personally, though, I'd say it's gone to their heads. They like to think the rest of us have it easy in the lowlands, forgetting that the wars with the Estromor never reached their mountains. Still, they came to our aid during both. They're named for a tough, thorny little plant that grows up in the mountains, and it suits them. And yours is the gilded compass, or the guided compass. We're the youngest of the tribes, and not one of the most prestigious. We've tried to keep the peace with the Estromor, which has earned us the reputation of appeasers amongst our hardline brethren in the Three-Tusked Stelgar and the Keepers of the Stone. We value our heritage as Gilfahans, but we recognize that the Estromor are here to stay. The way we see it, we can better follow our mandate to protect the places of the builders by making peace with our neighbors. Okay, bye. Okay, who do we have? We've got to grant us access to Old Song and Elm's Reach. Speak with the sisters in Elm's Reach in Tir Evron.
Hey.
Okay, let's
Yes.
go. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's get the hell out of here. Always be ganking wizards, unless you're playing a wizard, in which case shoot the other wizards that aren't me. That's what the pistol's for. Magic missiles, pistols. So one of the advantages of pistols I have noticed, and the pistolier class, not class. We're gonna head up here. Orange tabby cat, pumpkin. Orange tabby cat snaps out of its placid stupor as you approach. It opens its eyes wide, following you with every step before trotting to your side to rub against your legs. You have gained an orange tabby cat. But we already have the cutest cat. What's the orange tabby cat's name? Orange tabby cat. Oh my god, he's a chunky boy. This fluffy orange tabby cat looks alertly about the room, tail twitching, wears a small collar upon which is inscribed the name Pumpkin in careful letters. Now we have an orange tabby cat. Pumpkin the Kawarg. Pumpkin the Kawarg. As you near, feel vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Oh, it's a long one? Okay. You see an enormous mane of wild orange hair that belongs to a burly man, his expression slightly worried in the small candle-lit room. Across from him sits a portly woman with a third eye painted on her forehead. She gazes at him and clucks her tongue, standing him upright. He's a clear head and a half taller than her, but it is she who commands the room. She closes her eyes, her hand on his chest, and speaks. She sees a small grey creature darting from place to place, running, escaping. She's chasing it, four legs bounding, jumping across the room frantically when she laughs and opens her eyes, withdrawing her hand. Immediately guilty, she apologizes, avoiding his eyes. He demands to know what's wrong with him, what is causing his strange behavior. Before you were born, your soul split, child, she explains, fighting a smile. While half of it went to you, the other half seems to have become rather feline in nature. He rocks back, expression after expression pounding his face. His mouth opens and closes for several moments before he bows his head, the edges of a smile playing around his mouth as well. Suddenly he begins to laugh, doubling over, tears streaming down his face. Composing himself, he thanks her and leaves, the mystery solved. And now we've stolen his cat soul. This pedestal's shadow creeps around the dais. That's someone's house. We're not breaking into people's houses. The Old Song District. We want to go to the Old Song District. Sapling. A house. No, we want to go to the Elms Reach District. Oh, what's this? What's this? We saved the break-ins for Hillsfire? Yeah. How do I see what's going on here? The stones have worn smooth from centuries of wind and rain. Oh, okay. That's less interesting. The guard places his spear between you and the path that leads beyond the gate. Still, Estremore, the rest of the city is forbidden except by order of one of the city fathers. Trespassing in Twin Elms is punishable by death. I've come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Gilded Compass. The guard scowls and looks at his companion, who nods back. He turns to you again, his knuckles widening around the shaft of his spear. Always too cozy with the Estermore. Go ahead then. Mind your step around the sacred stones. Okay, we go to Elm's Reach. It's going to take us 1 hour. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, let's keep going. Hold on. So, oh my god, there's a lot going on here. The Hall of Warriors, the Golden Grove, Tor Evron, Twin Elms, the Blood Sands, Gilfahan Homes. Right, we don't want to break into anyone's home. We're just running through the area. Gathering blood moss as we go. Oh shit. We gotta talk to someone.
You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when
Oh.
so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara ex Incios. But not you. I underestimated you in the beginning, but no longer.
You honor me, Grand Inquisitor.
It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds poisoned by the Kratom witch. The tide is against us now.
Yeah, I think these are like visions that happen kind of out of sequence, so we're getting them from different souls at different times.
We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy before my court.
How would we reach her?
Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different.
In Oceanus, eh?
The king of Oceanus is a sinful man.
Okay.
We have helped him to see the error of his ways, and now he fears for his soul. He would pay any price for absolution.
Oh. But how would we get Iavara to move to Oceanus?
You told me once that you had never met Iavara. Now you will tell me the truth.
Oh my god. He stares into your eyes. He seems to never blink. A rush of panic spreads through your body and you can feel sweat beginning to seep through your skin. You want to be anywhere else. But there is no escaping his gaze. We've met a few times. She was my mentor. Let's go with mentor.
I pray her old teachings were less blasphemous than the new. Was it worthwhile, this mentorship?
I learned to be strong in my convictions.
Indeed. If she had held true to hers, we wouldn't be in this position.
You know, our plan is to kill you. I don't know why you're so smug.
You are wise to be forthcoming with me. I am willing to forget your prior lapse in memory.
No, I'm not. I'm going to kill you.
You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
Ah, you would.
Hey.
Right. We are looking for... Okay, now we talk to this Dryad. Oh, the Dryad sisters. 2 Dryads. Shia. 2 identical women seem to fade into view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them. Their skin is tree bark, ridged and scaly, wreathed in a curling tangle of roots, buds and blooms. Their hair hangs beneath the shade of several serrated leaves like drooping branches of the elms above. The pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds or even thousands of concentric rings, as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of millennia.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
Flesh creature.
Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar. An ancient soul, like the other one. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell him and be troubled no more.
No, defilers live on
Pay
Dark
the
Sun.
debt of his predecessor.
It would pay the debt of his predecessor? No, we want to kill the guy.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment. I see a different motive here. Different questions in these eyes.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
I seek a man who came through here. I seek him because I don't like him. I heard there was a commotion here and I came to investigate. My business concerns the health of this land and you would be wise to aid me. I have forgotten my purpose in the presence of such legendary beauty. Have I begun to hallucinate double? I would gladly burn this place down, but I have more pressing concerns. I seek a man. It seems like you have already met him.
There, by his own admission, Sheetha.
Jesus, come on, game. Yeah, I'm seeking a bad, why is it always like, oh yeah, I'm looking for this guy. Ah, then you must be his friend. No, I'm coming here to kill him because he's a bad guy and you don't like him.
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial.
Thank you.
The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious even.
It is time,
If we
Kitha.
are to help you find him, we would know why.
Okay. Prediction. Let's start the prediction. There's 30 minutes of snack time. Go. 20-second yawn? No. Don't even say the words. The word is forbidden. I'm going to put it in the auto mod thing. Everyone gets timed out for saying yawn. Had a 20-second. Oh my god. Now I've read the line again. I can still see it. I can still see it. Okay. I have a problem and he's the only one who can fix it. Stopping him might end Widewain's legacy. He must face justice for his transgressions. He crossed me, I intend to get my revenge. We seem linked, and I need to know why. Stopping him might end Widewain's legacy.
So that is the reason he passed this way. This is low, even for the Leaden Key.
Oh, so you know who the Leaden Key are?
I told you we should have confronted him, Sheetha. He has always been a poison.
Yes!
It would have been the last thing we ever did, sister. Who can be said to have ever gotten the better of Theos?
Me. I'm going to do it. Because we're not going to kill him. We're going to break his legs and arms and then roll him in to a big barrel. Because he comes back from the dead.
Yes, but imagine how much fun it would have been. Can't you just picture him all strung up in vines like an angry little puppet?
You can put yawn in the auto mod, but you can't put stream Bobo. Oh yeah, I could put stream Bobo in auto mod and time them out every time they say it, but then we wouldn't get the fun of banning them. Can't picture him all strung up in vines.
But that's not what this is really about, is it? You are bound to that man.
Yeah.
I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake, and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
Yes, and I'm okay with that because I want to kill this guy. Right? So what I'm saying is true. I want to track him down and turn off the machines he's turning on and let everyone's souls go normal again. Let the wheel of souls turn. You should be in favor of that. That's the kind of thing you should be into. I just have to get to it.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek. Nor can any man.
I'm not
An
seeking
awakening
that game.
cannot be undone, any more than your past can be undone.
What's she mean? I thought Merrill said... This is permanent? What? Kana glances at you. But that can't be right. Not after everything. There must be someone who else we can ask. I'm sorry. We did not come down this road together to be refused passage by a pair of talking saplings. Has it all been for nothing? I'm going to lose my mind. I'm okay with losing my mind in a game in Minecraft if it means that the baddie gets shot in the head by all of the guns we've prepared for that very purpose.
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
No, I want to shoot Theos. I'd rather have tried to put things right. I would live with it if I could. That or kill the man who brought it up. I had to believe something. I didn't have a choice. I'd rather have tried to put things right. A noble thought, but for the lifetime that separates you from your problems.
However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward. Would you agree, Sheila?
Oh my god, okay, we'll take the way forward.
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
What is it?
The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see any more than you. And without that knowledge, your doom is certain.
Okay.
But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then, and merely speed your condition to its end.
How do I unlock the rest?
You might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But when it comes, it will replace your sanity's last breath. Such is the nature of your condition.
Okay, so we want to fix the Widewain's legacy by making him turn off the machines.
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
This would he remember?
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he ever knew, he still does.
Oh, the gods made his memory perfect?
Not that he would tell you, of course.
He's who said, he's clearly lying about working for the gods.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Theos' path many times, in many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
You said you know where he went.
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city, Sun and Shadow.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
Okay.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
Is there another way to get to him?
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A shortcut, in fact.
Oh, it's a short... Why didn't he go that way?
Don't be cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods, it can take you where you want to go.
If to jump into a pit is... Okay, what do you mean with the help
The
of
pit
the
is
gods?
said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach Sun and Shadow. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
What's the
No
court?
more than a ruin now. It is older than we. A place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below.
Okay.
The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people, but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the condemned repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
Okay, how would I ever get the gods to help?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
Who would I pray to? Any god you can, I should think.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake, the feeling is shared.
Right. So the only way to get through this pit is to pray for help.
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
Okay. Is there no other way?
None.
How do I
Ter
pray?
Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods they represent are aligned as well.
Okay.
You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience for fools.
I have other
What do
questions.
you wish to know?
How did you know I was pursuing
The
Theos?
same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. A gift common to many creatures of the wilds. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue.
Okay.
For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
You mentioned that people come to the elms without knowing why. The soul has a will of its own. It needs the whims seldom understand. Okay.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding, something like a beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another, with or without their owner's awareness. Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace.
Peace.
Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case, let us hope it is for peace.
Or vengeance.
Yeah, sure.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey has been over time, but not distance, measured in observations, but not experiences.
Good night. I wish I was hitting the hay. I'm real tired, Black Robe One. I don't know what's going on.
We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred my sister so.
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
I would like to. You're making it very difficult.
We will tell you what we can.
Okay.
Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
All right. I won't know till I get there. I need to understand our history so it can be put to rest, nothing more. He must be destroyed. I would return him to the wheel of life and death so that he may trouble me no more. I would set him on a better path. I would take his place and power for myself. I want to end the stupid Woodwind's legacy.
You would need to have twice as many lifetimes as he to repair his savage work.
Sure. But perhaps there are strides you can make. Yeah.
All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course. In the end, it may mean all the difference, not just to his soul, but to yours.
Look, I'm not worried about that. The clear problem is loads of children are being born without souls because he keeps turning on these machines. All we have to do is turn those machines off.
May you find an answer to yours.
Right, now we have to pray. New quest, Council of the Stars. No mortal can survive descent into the pit. The gods can grant you self. Ask for their favor. You need to pray for them in this location. Okay. And then the other one is travel to the burial isle. And then throw yourself into the pit. Okay. It's the exact same game plan. Jimmy, we turned off a lot of the machines. Taxes collected, lost 12 to... Okay. Hold on a second. Earned some money. We've got some money, okay. And it did jack all, yeah. Okay. Blocked passage.
And
right,
what does
everyone
the flame
sneak.
reveal?
We're looking for secrets. We're gonna do
All
a
right,
loop.
then.
We're gonna do a loop of the room. We're gonna just go over this area. Just checking for secrets. Alright, let's look in these shelves then. Oh my god. The Book of the Hunt, Daily Affirmations and Focus on Efficiency, Excerpts from the Sermon of Struggle, The Midwife's Memoirs, The Queen That Was and Still Is. The First Journal of Ionis, Missives of the Hand of the Occult, The Many Faces of Bereth. "10 Years of Dawn, Selected Correspondence of the Gift Bringer, Enigmatic God of Cold, Luminescent Adra Shard. And a blocked way to the next level. Shattered and charred stone blocks the passage to the sun and shadow. Okay. Okay. We're going to do a quick... We're going to go over here. We're going to save, and we're going to pick stuff up. How do we play?
Well?
Okay.
As you wish.
So let's grab the books. The Book of the Hunt. Daily affirmations and focuses on efficiency. All errors can be reforged into lessons. We've read this one. All souls can be reforged into whatever we will. Hard work is not exclusive to life. Death is no time for complacency. Commit yourself to excellence in this cycle and the next. Abaddon. Sermon on Struggle. Magrus is a god of fire. Okay. The Queen That Was and Is. The Midwife's Memoirs. Okay.
A brothel for the ages.
Hey.
Okay.
Well?
Nothing happens when you approach this shrine. Nothing happens when you approach this shrine. Piercing ring fills your ears near Whale's shrine. There is no other response.
As you wish.
Okay. So these gods were destroyed. Abaddon, Galawain, and Magran. Let's go. So Abaddon, Galawain, and Magran, I think we might have a good chance of talking to. Barath is, we like lots of the clerics of Barath. I want to stay away from Shgain. We didn't like them.
Yes.
Huh. Before this shrine is the constellation of Snarling Hound, Fangs bared. The shrine before bright constellations forming oval shape, Hylia. Okay.
As you wish.
Galawain is the hunter. So this... Okay. Let's look at the journal. Lore. Oh, I was hoping it would give me a list of the deities. Okay. Galawain. A group of the hunt assassins pursue wilderness, sometimes thought to take the form of a fur-clad hunter with a great hound, favors survival of the strong and culling of the weak. Hylia, maternity, creativity, birds, language, the arts. No particular physical form, but thought to present birds of all kinds. Right. Here's what I'm going to say. My concern in this game, 11 months turning off those machines, 11, is we want to end Wide Wane's legacy where all the children are Hollowborn, right? So Hylia, the goddess of like maternity and birth and stuff, is the person we should talk to. Talk to a bless the Godhammer bomb. We're not talking to her. Whale is also dead. Yothus is dead. Death cycles and doorways. I would like to talk to Abaddon, but I don't think that's an option. Let's go talk to Hylia. You step before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. Oh God. Live every note of life's song was her shtick. Your words ring in the air, your voice is rendered melodic and lilting by some unseen art. You shut your eyes and pray. As you wait in the darkness, the world around you changes. You feel sunlight bright and warm on your face. A light breeze carries music to your ears. As vivid as those sensations feel, you somehow know they are not real. You look around you and find yourself standing in an open-air temple built on a mountain summit. It is filled with elves, orlans, and associated other kith. Ringing the entire scene is a fringe of trees, their verdant branches filled with birds of all different colours, shapes, and sizes. A paradise for those who would waste their lives exploring the meaningless while corrupting the meaning of the real world. Oh, to set these trees ablaze, Watcher. Probably shouldn't have brought him. Everyone is singularly absorbed in a particular pursuit. The Orlan sits with a canvas, a paintbrush in his hand, and jars of green, blue, and yellow pigments at his feet. An elf and an Anmuna standing to the side are locked in conversation, their expressions dancing with delight. Still others scribble stanzas of poetry and crude sketches on sheafs of paper, losing themselves in the delicate minutiae of lines and syllables. You feel the breeze again, and the two elves basking in the sunlight shiver. Look at this place. All these people coming together to share their creations, and what on earth is that painting supposed to be? The largest group gathers in the middle of the temple. They sing a lush, chaotic harmony, composed of several complementary melodies. Others drift towards the singers in ones and twos, as if buffeted by a gust of wind or a phrase of the song. A ripple passes through the trees. You think it is the wind, but the chirping changes to screeching. Hundreds of birds take to the skies, all headed in one direction. Away. That's every other direction. Something must be coming. The devotees glance at the trees, just barely distracted from their activities, but the wind picks up, scattering their pages and poetry and art and ripping the songs from their lips. They look skyward and follow your gaze. A dark shape blots out the sun. You can't tell what it is, but as it unfolds and expands, it seems to fill the sky. The wind roars over the summit. Continue. That explains the birds. Before you can flee, a shadow falls over the temple. It begins to stain the corners. It begins to stain in the corners and spreads, blotting out the flagstones. It reaches the nearest kith, a black-furred Orlan. The darkness swallows her, leaving only a puff of smoke in her place. The two elves you saw earlier, a man and a woman, flee. You get a brief image of them huddled in the shadow of a mountain. They seem to see you too, and they reach out, calling silently after you. Others, however, seem frozen. As the shadow advances, they likewise vanish, one by one. Driving gale scatters their ashes and charred remains of their creations. You look up again to see the source of the shadow, but the eclipse of sun forms a blinding corona around the thing. You can't make out any details. You can, however, feel heat. Restore my temple. You look down and find yourself standing next to Hylia's shrine in Tir Avron. Your pulse still races, and your skin is damp with sweat from your strange encounter. End dialogue. Okay. New quest. A nest above the scars. The menace roosts in Hylia's temple is scattered her worshippers. I've been tasked with facing that threat. In a mountain above Twin Elms, something sinister hunts Hylia's temple. I've been asked to confront this terror and put an end to it. The vision showed me a male and female elf who fled to the mountaintop. Last I saw, they were hiding in a ring of stones, the ruin of an older temple in Twin Elms. If there's a district in the city with other temples, I may be able to find the elves there. They could show me the way to Hylia's temple. In the goddess's vision, I saw her followers terrorized and struck down by a terrible menace. Presumably, removing that threat will earn me her favor. Right. Now, the question I have is... do I need to get multiple gods' favors? What's Galwain's shtick? The Book of the Hunt.
It's that time again. Snack time with Kiffer and friends.
It's that time again.
It's that time again.
Snack time with Kiffer and friends. So tired. To the snack time screen. Snack time screen. Snack time screen. Take me down to the snack time screen. Filters. Chrome key away. Chrome key away. Boop. Okay, this evening's snack is to be shortly displayed. Shortly displayed is a hint. Has anyone not selected a snack? I don't know if anyone's selected any snacks. This evening's snack has been selected. It is especially important that the green screen is off. The snack is Super Value Shorties. 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 Scammed again. From Super Value. Super Value. Shorties. Biscuits. Is there anything written on the packet? It says, soft textured, sugar sprinkled biscuits. And that's about it. Our promise quality, 492 kilocalories per 100 grams, 6.3 grams of protein, 1.9 grams of fiber. Shorties. If we turn the green screen back on, you will see just how green the packet is. I don't know. There. That's not really an achievement. Oop. Right. Soft textures. Choose biscuits, still feel scammed. Super Value Shorties. Now, they are, if we look at the ingredients, it says wheat, palm oil, sugar, oatmeal. So they're shortcake biscuits, I imagine, but soft texture. So they have a nice bread wheel texture to them and lots of holes poked in them. They've got a hatching pattern on the bottom. You can put two of them together, and I don't know why you would or wouldn't. Yeah, but they're a nice looking biscuit.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Even the letter Y is too close. All I have to do is think the word. It's too much. That was a mistake. Now there's crumbs in my keyboard. They're a nice, dry, crispy biscuit. They're supposed to have a lot of sugar on the top, like just as a light dusting. They're soft. Well, they're not. Like you could eat them with gums if you wanted to. You could give them to a toddler. Oh, you absolutely called it, Tom. That's correct, Jer. These are biscuits. Biscuits are, of course, the superset that cookies are contained within. All cookies are biscuits, not all biscuits are cookies. Thank you for doing the shout-outs, Jimmy. They're very tasty, but I am very tired. Cookies aren't... What mad logic is that, Draconic Dude? You would have voted for bees. Bees? Oh, BS. Okay, sorry. Fool. Not with it at all. I am not on top of things today. I'm very tired. I overdid it in the gym. Oh, hopefully my heel will have healed enough on Monday that I can get back to running, but I'm going to go back to the start of week 3, do week 3 again, and then hopefully hit week 4 the next week again. And then hopefully week 4 should be an easy week 4, because I've already completed week 4 last week, but I had to stop this week because of the injury. I don't know. I have to eat some bees just to get the real twang of BS. I could get like candied scorpions or something. It looks like people really thought it was going to be biscuit today. Have I become predictable? Biscuit it is. Just bring a beehive into the room and then eat the bees live on stream. Oh, you know what I'd like to watch? You know what I'd like to watch again? It was on Netflix ages ago. Netflix got rid of all their old cult classic stuff. There's a movie called The Deadly Bees. There's a movie called The Deadly Bees. I would love to watch The Deadly Bees again. Right? Doing a commentary on the Deadly Bees. Congratulations, 15,000 points go to the question and 2 others. Who are the 2 others? The computer has yet to tell me. The successful candidates are the question IRL, Draconic Dude, and 6 Symbols, all of whom chose to choose correctly. They share in 15,044 points. Unforgiven, Jimmy Colorado, Numenon, and Jero RPG all chose to choose incorrectly. And we can move on now. The Deadly Bees. Let me tell you about the film The Deadly Bees. The plot of the film, The Deadly Bees. To condense it very much, there is an actress. She becomes very stressed by her job as an actress. And they say, look, acting is very stressful and you're clearly very stressed. You should go on holiday to recover. You're going to go to a nice, peaceful island. You're going to go to a nice, peaceful island, right? The peaceful island, it's a nice rural setting. It's all going to be very low stress. Don't worry. You're not going to have any trouble. The title of the movie is The Deadly Bees. So you know that's a lie right from the start, even if you haven't seen the trailer that spoils it all. So she goes to this island to do her recovery from her stress. And first, she meets two different beekeepers. One is a beekeeper whose wife has recently died. And the other is a beekeeper who is just crazy. Wasn't that My Girl, the movie? Oh my God, he can't see without his glasses. Very sad. We're appropriating scam time for B-movie reviews. That's what the B in BS really stands for. B-movie screening. B-movie screening. That's what's going to happen. At some point, BS is going to be no snack. We're going to watch a movie. That's the craziest idea. And then my channel gets banned again. So it would have to be a movie that is not a movie. A puppet show. Puppet Show 9 from Outer Space. Let's get back to the game with what little time we have left in the stream. I'm probably going to finish up sooner than regular because I am all down tired and I apologize for that. I do not understand why I am so tired. Okay. So can we pick up another God's mission? Like if we read more of the stories. Well, I guess we can click on another one and see if it lets me do it. Okay, yeah, so pray to Gallowin. All things can be reforged, that's Abaddon. There is life in death and death in life. Survival begins with the strength from within. Struggle is fundamental to our nature. Sing the ocean's sorrow. All life ends in stillness. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. What is an answer without a question? When Wodika takes back her throne, all wrongs will be righted. Leave. Okay, hold on. Let's read his Book of the Hunt again. Survival begins with strength from within is Gallowin. Okay. We're going to pick up all their missions. Survival begins with strength from within. That's what I expected. The air around you stirs. A gust of warm wind blows across the back of your neck. You catch the faintest smell of wet earth. As you kneel in front of the shrine, you feel yourself pushed forward. You catch yourself on your hands and knees, feeling warm, damp ground beneath them. Looking around, you find yourself crouched in a clearing in the middle of the woods. The smell of dirt hangs heavy in the air. Behind you is a darkened room filled with candlelit shrines. Ahead of you, you hear the howl of some kind of hound. Arrgh. You feel certain this is a vision, but the hairs on the nape of your neck rise. Howl back. The beast bays in response, its voice high and clear. The thick undergrowth shivers with movement. The heavy paws pound wet grass. You're not certain if the creature is hunting or leading you, but you instinctively give chase. As you tumble through the dew-speckled bushes, and clawing brambles. Each stride feels longer than the last. You draw lungfuls of crisp, clear air and feel your energy renewed. The rhythm of your stride. Thumping of the beast paws drive the blood pumping through your ears. You speed ahead, following the hound's cries. When a split-finger pine crashes to the ground in front of you, a massive bear lunges into the gap and roars. It catches sight of you. You turn and race in the opposite direction, leaping over the fallen tree trunk. Pine cones crunch underfoot. The bear lumbers after you. You don't have to ask for this guy's favor. You take it by surviving. The hot breath washes over your back and your neck, filling your nose with the rank odor of slaughter. You see a clearing just past a thicket of broad leaves and sprint towards it. As you break through the foliage, a massive lioness curled around the clearing in front of you. With a blast burst of energy, you divert your momentum and hurl yourself into the bushes. Any second now, you expect to feel the bear fall upon you, but a furious roar on the other side of the clearing draws your attention. The bear has stopped at the tree line. It swipes the empty air with claws large enough to rend armor, but does not advance. The lioness, for her part, twists her body in a tight coil. She growls, ears pressed against her head, but she makes no move to attack the intruder. Whose idea was it to stand here? You back deeper into the foliage, keeping your eyes on the two mighty predators. As you crawl backwards, the heel of your hand brushes something furred. A warm sigh grazes your cheek. You freeze in place. Slowly you turn your head to see what waits behind you. Two amber eyes shine in the darkness. Perhaps we ought to take our chances with the bear. The eyes meet your gaze briefly, then turn to the standoff in the clearing. The hound behind you yawns. Oh no, why would you run? Fucking game. Fangs flashing. The game is doing it to me now. When you turn back, the lion and the bear have disappeared. In their place is a stone wolf's maw, gaping wide enough to swallow you whole. Beyond is the outline of a temple, towering but indistinct. I'm fading fast. Blood must feed the maw, Watcher. See that a true champion reigns, Invictus forever. Turn back to Tyr Avon. The old queen and the new king. Travel to the stone wall. A stalled fight between a lioness who lies in wait and a bear who circles her. He revealed a cave shaped like a wolf's maw that looks like a temple district. Probably learned something more there. Okay. Okay, we have to do them all. What was this one? I don't know which god this is. The cold emanating from the shrine is unmistakable. A thin frost is formed on the edges of the stone. Okay, hold on. The enigmatic god of cold. Young students often confused by Bereth and Rimgran's seemingly overlapping roles, holding dominion over death. Bereth sees the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Ramgrand oversees the cold, destructive act of dying itself. This difference is often difficult for novices to appreciate until they have lost a loved one and endured the absence for a time. It is Bereth that determines when we will be reborn, just as certainly as we will die. But Remgrand is the executioner's act. Remgrand shows us that all life ends in stillness. I only need to show them the symbol, the bone-white aurochs skull found carved within the most ancient of Ingwithian ruins. It is a symbol of death and doom in every culture. Any child with 4 winters under his belt needs no introduction to this ancient symbol. This god embodies not just death, but all manifestations of collapse, be they famine, plague, or simple bad luck. A primal god, silent and inscrutable as death itself. He makes himself known with his passing, not by proclamation. There are innumerable stories of the god's terrifying passage through the lands of Eora. When the beast of winter stirs, bitter winds and beastly howling follow the creature's every move. Wherever the beast plants a hoof, all life withers to dust. The faithful insist that even another god's life can end in stillness. They claim the other gods must flee from the beast of winter's mastery over death. But we know not if this boast holds true. Though the beast of winter is shrouded in snowy clouds, those who have seen the shaggy white monster claim that the soul of the fallen can be seen clinging or perhaps frozen to the beast's fur. The dwarves of the boreal south have numerous stories that tell of similar plot. A brash hero seeks out the beast of winter to rescue the souls trapped in its fur. These tales never end well. For even if the hero saves his beloved one's soul, the hero dies in the process. For it is not a proper tale of Rimgand unless the hero's life ends in stillness. And yeah, I'm still not sure what the option is for that. And Berath, we might need to reread Berath's stuff as well. The Many Faces of Berath. All the sugar in those sweet, sweet cookies. They're biscuits, Jer. They'd still be, like, even if the category was called cookies, it would still be cookies. How fitting that we know the god of cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability as Bereth, while the Villians know the very same god as Kirano. For if nothing else, Bereth teaches that duality exists in all things. There is life in death and death in life. That's what we need to know for this guy. That's his spiel. Your Chinese takeaway has gotten used to you. They are now trying to actively make your chow mein as spicy as possible. You didn't challenge them, did you? You didn't challenge them, Unforgiven. You didn't say, don't make it so bland like you did last time. I want to feel my eyebrows melting. There is life in death and death in life. Okay, but we need to look at what the other options are. Okay, all life ends in stillness is the other god. So it's There is life in death and death in life. No challenging at all? Okay. There's a rippling shift in the air around you, as if some unfelt wind has changed, bringing an unexpected warmth. You feel the peculiar weight of an unseen presence, and of the eyes upon you. You felt bad when the Chinese takeaway called you by your first name? I went in to a chipper down near the train station the other day, and I've been going into this chipper for a while. I call it the chicken shop. People are like, the chicken shop? And I'm like, I call it the chicken shop because I go there and I buy chicken. And they were like, why don't you call it the chipper? And I'm like, so you know I'm going to get chicken. Anyway, I've been going to this chicken shop for a while. It's like a fish and chip shop, except all I care about is the fact they sell fried chicken. So I go into the chipper. And every time I go in, I've discovered that the cheapest way to get the most chicken is to order just a breast piece with no additional anything. And you get like a southern fried, crumbed up chicken, right? I've been going in there for a while. Maybe one day a week at lunchtime to get this chicken. And the other day I walked in and there was a queue. And I walked in and I stood at the back of the queue and one of the workers did this. And I was like, I gave him a nod. So he gave me like an upwards nod. I gave him a little nod. And then he just like put a thing of chicken over the counter and took money and I left. Like I skipped the entire queue. He gave the old nod. And I was just like, I didn't order. I didn't make any request. There were other people ahead of me who hadn't ordered. I just walked in at obviously the same time I always walked in at, and he just went, oh, chicken guy. And he gave me the chicken. And I paid it with card, like no conversation, just tap and left. You could see other people going like, did you order that ahead of time? Like there was no, like, as far as they were concerned, some guy just came in and walked around and then got chicken and left. There was no interaction with the people behind the counter at all. But then I went in the other day and there was a different person there. And normally when you order just the chicken, they give you a couple of chips, you know. And this one I walked in, I went, you know, just the breast piece, please. And she went, okay. And she literally just put it in a bag and went, there you go. And she charged me half the money. And I was like, that's even better because I don't really want the chips. The chips are too filling during the day. So I got it down to even cheaper. Now I need to do that every time. Just the breast piece, please. They make your thing up. No matter how long the queue was. Just skipping the whole queue was fantastic. It's like there's a skit. Is it foil hogs and arms, whatever they're called? Where the guy goes into the pub and he says, I'll have the usual, and the barman goes, who the fuck are you? And then the next skit, like someone just comes in and just goes, and the barman goes, pours a drink and gives it to him and goes, why can't we have that relationship? I was like, this is a man who requires just protein. That's it, kiddo, and lunchtime. But this PDF is 1,122 pages long. Are there 33 paragraphs on the last page? I don't know why I would think that would be funny. Okay. You kneel to pray to Berith. Even while your eyes are closed, you see a road that seems to stretch forever. The stars wheel overhead like a clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon to your left, only to rise again on your right. You try to make out the details of either side of the road, but your eyes can't seem to focus. One moment you think there is a meadow blanketed with mist and another sheer canyon walls. For just an instant, you even see waves lapping at the edge of the road. Were you to step onto the shifting landscape, you feel certain you would only end up back on the road. You know this is a vision, but the packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet, and the night air cool on your face. I wish the night air felt cold. It's fucking roasting. You are walking. Your feet seem to carry you forward of their own accord. Honda Accord. Something looms ahead of you. As you get closer, you see two stone figures that look strangely familiar. Our old friends, life and death, death in life. We're in the realm of the twin god, and here are its two aspects. You remember the door to Caliban Relic and the two figures carved into the mountain next to it. One looks vaguely male, the other looks vaguely female. Only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal body, which twists to face the doorway between them. The doorway, however, is not what you saw in the ruins. It is a skull, gaping and jawless, and as you look on, its open mouth seems to grow. How can it have an open mouth if it is jawless? The arms of the two stone sculptures are swept towards the mouth, inviting you in. Enter the skull's mouth. The road continues through the maw to another shifting landscape, surrounded by stars. As you pass through it, you see an identical doorway in the distance. A dwarven man stands near it unmoving. You turn and look behind you, only to see the skull gate you passed facing you. An elven woman waits in the road. Like the dwarf, she stands still. Shit. We approach the dwarven man. This is going backwards. We're only going forwards. You continue down the road toward him. He looks up as you approach, but you can't tell if he's looking at you or through you. His face is smooth but flaccid. Flaccid, as if the flesh has detached from the muscles underneath. As you look on, his face begins to change. Wrinkles crack at the corner of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from nose to the corners of his lips. His jowls sag, and the loose flesh hangs like dough. He raises his cupped hands. They're covered in blood. He lifts them to his face and smears himself from the newly creased forehead to the wattles of his neck. Normal Tuesday night for Shia LaBeouf. As he massages the dark, sticky fluid into his skin, the fresh wrinkles disappear, the hanging folds recede, and his flesh tightens as if readhering to his skull. He lifts his hand. This time you know he is looking at you. His renewed face looks like a mask, artificially smooth and still, but behind his black eyes are two hungry pits, yawning like the empty mouth of skulls. Come, make your sacrifice to the ethic null. His body blocks the path. He extends a bloody hand towards you. Take his hand. You grab his hand, but the skin gives too easily under your grip. As you try to pull away, you hear a noise like dried canvas tearing. His skin splits, following a long seam that begins at his arm and stretches the length of his body. Blood gushes forth in such quantities that you can't imagine there was ever anything else in him. Sure enough, as the dwarf empties of blood, he collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood in the path gleams with 1,000 souls worth of essence. The essence evaporates, trailing shining filaments into the night sky. Only now he is dead can you continue onwards. The blood pools around your feet and you look up to see the elven woman waiting further down the road. Approach the elven woman. You start towards her. There is something unnatural about the way she stands. Somewhat more perpendicular than usual. She is too still. When you get closer, you can see that her legs taper into a slender trunk, and in place of her feet are gnarled, twisted roots. She lifts her face to an invisible sun. Her long golden hair is the color of autumn leaves. As you look more closely, you realize her head is actually covered with tendrils and vines sprouting brilliant yellow leaves. Each glimmers with the essence of an entire soul. She gives you a beatific smile. As you look on, the leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. They melt into the path behind her, and almost immediately new leaves sprout in the place of old. She reaches towards you, still smiling as roots spring from her fingertips. Her outstretched arms bar the path. Come, grant your soul to the golden grove. Take her hand. Her roots twine around you, and as they do, they grow rigid and cold. Her outstretched arm petrifies as a rough stone bark overtakes her flesh. She can only look on in horror. You break away from her brittle grasp. Her feet are rooted in place, but she twists and writhes as if trying to flee her own dying limb. Petrification reaches her shoulder and spreads down her body, freezing it in a painful arc. It creeps up her neck, and she throws her face skyward like a drowning swimmer. The grayness covers her face, freezing her gasp in stone. Now that she is still and lifeless, you can continue past her. Someone who gives dice rages than dice values for things is a terrorist. It does 6 to 24 damage. You can get there a couple of ways. Can you? Surely 6 to 24 is 6 d4s. He said, hopefully. It can't be 3d8. Only the golden leaves on her head remain untouched, and as you watch, they fall one by one to the path below. They shrivel as the shimmering essence fades from them. A voice echoes along the road, barely more than a whisper on a breeze. Return them to the wheel. That's exactly the opposite of what it said. It said barely more than a whisper. To the wheel. You lift your gaze and see the skull gate ahead of you on the path. The candle of Tir Evron wink through the open mouth. Leave. She mentioned a place called Golden Grove. Something about Ethnic Null. Okay. Cancelled the stars. So we've got Hylia, Gwael, Baranth. We need to get the fourth one, which is the cold guy. Quick save. Yeah, I mean, like... 2d10 plus 4? It's not going to be 2d10 plus 4. It's not going to be 2d10 plus 4, hit on. Once more you approach the shrine, the constellations of the Beast of Winter. This time the cold emanating from the shrine is unmistakable. A thin frost has formed upon the edges of the stone. Pray. Okay. All life ends in stillness is his shtick. Keep an eye on the time, keep an eye on the time, keep an eye on the time. You feel a sudden gust of cold air, as if the shrine were bursting into wintry life. The frigid wind cuts through you like a sharpened blade, and darkness encroaches upon the edges of your sight. You kneel and close your eyes. As you pray, the blackness fades to white, and a howling wind fills your ear. The vision that slowly resolves itself is of a broad, frozen plain. You see a procession of elves in the distance, periodically fading into and emerging from the whiteness. They trudge over snowbanks, their heads down against the driving winds. I know this place. This is the White That Wends. As they trek past you, one man, bundled in furs, turns his head. You headed for Noonfrost, and the Frost-hewn breach too? Before you can answer, he lumbers ahead. You follow the caravan, and in a couple of minutes you come to a wall of ice. It disappears into the pale emptiness overhead and stretches as far as you can see in either direction. The elves stop in front of a mirror-smooth section that's framed like a temple door. It seems somehow thinner than the rest of the wall. You can't see what's on the other side, but a debilitating cold emanates from within. The elves pull pickaxes and shovels from their sealskin packs and begin hacking at the smooth ice, their implements flying through the air in swift, shining arcs. Though they throw their bodies into their labor, none of them is so much as able to scratch the polished ice. Yet with each blow, something bellows in the distance. Whatever it is, it's huge and angry. Sangi squints into the whiteout, and it's coming our way. D4T raiding with a party of 25. Welcome, welcome. We are just acquiring some quests. Happy Friday. We are encountering the gods at the end, near the end of Pillars of Eternity. They're giving us quests by making us do stuff. It's kind of crazy. Ader calls out to the elves, "Hey! You might want to hold off on that." But that howling wind seems to swallow up his voice. The elves hack away, seemingly oblivious to the furious lowing and to the tremors under your feet. The snow has risen to your knees. Your legs feel frozen in the drifts. Try to get the elves' attention. You grab the nearest elf by the shoulder, shaking her and yelling over the howling winds. You point in the direction of the booming noise, but she only scowls. "Leave us, traveler. We've got to get through. We can't stay on this side any longer." But you haven't chipped the ice. You're angering something very big. You'd better stop. We wait. Death is inevitable, and everything is still in death. We stand still and wait. You watch as the elves continue to work at the ice. They pay no heed to the rumbling roar or the numbing wind. Their movements, however, gradually slow. They labor at the ice with arduously sluggish movements until they finally freeze in place, some mid-swing and others preparing for the next blow. You touch the elf nearest you, and he crumbles to a mound of snow. A final gale blows past, scattering the remains of the elves in a chaotic flurry. you notice a single spiderweb crack in the smooth barrier. It is the only thing that mars the perfect surface of the ice. Whatever is on the other side of the strange doorway, you feel it tugging at you. Only when you look back and see the parallel gashes trailing behind your legs in the snow do you realize how strong the pull is. Thank you, Jimmy, for doing the shout out for Jeffertainment and for D4T, I presume. Yes, excellent. Welcome, all of you, to the channel. I have just going to eat another biscuit now to Jeffertainment. Okay, so this evening's snack was a biscuit, just called Shorties. They're in a green packet, so they don't come up on the green screen. We are very near the end of Pillars of Eternity, I think, now.
My end comes to all things in time. Seal the frost-hewn breach and instruct the pilgrims in the patience of Remergond.
Plug the hole with a handful of snow. You fill your hand with snow and shove it into the crack. It hardens instantly. And a hoary rime grows over the smooth surface of the frozen doorway, fusing it with the rest of the wall. When you take your hand away, a perfect crystal of ice remains in your palm. As you examine the crystal, the vision around you fades, but the unmelting ice shard remains in your hand. Yeah, so we've reached the point where we know where the baddie has gone. We know how to get there, but in order to get there, we have to jump through a portal. The portal kills you if you don't have the support of a bunch of gods. So we now got to do some missions for some gods. So we can see that here. So we've got these missions for the gods. And we've got to do... Yeah, we got to do these 4 missions. The 4 missions are a nest above the clouds. That's near here. The old queen and the new queen. We have to find a temple near here. A servant of death. We have to find a golden globe, an ethic null. I think we've encountered ethic null before. And we have to go and find a temple called Noonfrost and deal with it. So we got to talk to the locals. So we got to talk to a bunch of people now. And then that'll allow us to go to the Court of the Penitents, which is on the burial isle nearby. If we don't do all of these missions, we will die when we try to jump through. Okay. So we need to go from here to maybe Old Song. There's a the Temple of Hylia is way up here. Yeah. Don't know how we're going to get there. But that's okay. There's a bunch of people whose names we've encountered before. So, yeah, I think we can just go on from here. We should save, though.
Of course.
On a mission from God. Gods. We're actually on 4 missions from 4 gods. But, you know, close enough. We're pretty close to the end. But the question is, how long will it actually take us to get to that part of the end? Plus, we're pretty heavily loaded for killing people and not like monsters and stuff. I've not been very good at the enchanting or like the putting stuff together. I have questions.
What do you wish to know?
Farewell.
Until we meet again, old one.
We're a great old one.
All right, then.
Right, we're looking for temples. The Golden Grove, that's nearby. The Hall of Warriors. The Blood Sands. People's houses. The Old Song District. Okay, well, this is one of the places we have to go. So let's head here.
Did you hear that? About our awakenings being permanent?
I did hear that. We protect the life of the Golden Grove.
Hey.
Oviates. She earned my trust to continue to support Arona. Okay. Bella. The snack was not a scam.
Estremor.
The elf holds a chipped wooden pipe. The sweet smoke wafting from the bowl makes you dizzy. Welcome, Estremor. I've got herbs and potions for sale. Looking for something to ease your travails? Ha ha ha, it's a pun. Or something to make them more interesting? When she grins, you see her teeth and gums are stained brown. Whiteleaf. Nice way to spend an afternoon, and the following night, and most of the next day. Let's have a look at her drug stocks. Oh, but she also sells like a flask of war paint. Okay, so these are more reason. What does war paint do? Binding the essence of sacrificed lives into a potent brew of blood and magic, war paint, crafted by the Ethic Null. That's... has empowered Gilfan warriors to perform great feats of strength. That's the thing we're looking for. That's the dwarf we've got to kill. Major regeneration, iron skin, mana recovery, sapphires, all kinds of stuff. Settler's arrow, binding copper, tiny sporling. Oh, it's another pet. Yeah, we're not getting that. Okay, thanks for your time.
Ready, Watcher.
Hey.
Oh. Golden leaves flash and shine as they fall from the trees. Golden celery.
Many blessings, traveler.
Tamorn. Though his eyes are closed and his posture is still, the man before you keeps his head aimed at you as if carefully following your movements. Hail to you. May your time in the Golden Grove be enriching. If you're in need of services, speak with Bella. She will see to your concerns. Blia. We are naturalists. Naturalists or naturists? Philosophers, herbalists, and teachers. The Oviates of the Golden Grove know that true wisdom comes from the study of the natural order. We endeavor to teach others to explore the world for themselves. Okay, farewell. What mission am I supposed to do with these people? She mentioned a place called the Golden Globe. He said something about the Ethic Null. The bark feels warm and the roots seem to twine around your hand. Can we get up here somehow? We can. Okay.
I'll see what I can find.
R-rated naturists streaming coming up. D4T, we're not allowed. We can't have jacuzzi stream until we can't afford a jacuzzi stream until we have a jacuzzi stream. We'd get barred. Okay. Okay, this is not where we want to be. So, the lady we're looking for... Golden Flash... Okay. We foster her natural longevity, nothing else. Then he does a little emoji. We learn hidden truths from Weretha. Weretha is the person that we have to find. Just listening to these people's dialogue here, we deserve a better leader. We foster her unnatural longevity, nothing else, this I claim. Perhaps it is the price we pay for her continued stewardship. Oh. So, what did I say the name was? Weretha? W-E... Weretha. Weretha. Okay. So she is listed there as their leader, but I haven't seen her here.
All right, then.
And I thought... Goodbye.
Hey.
Okay. So we have to find Weretha. Let's try over in these blood sands. Are you sure of that claim? I hope the sacrifices would have waned. The frontier is open. We assure you much war paint coming.
Hey.
Okay. Tribesman, supplicant. There's no greater honor than dying for one's tribe. We might have to murder some people here. I don't know if we can get away with it. Oh god, it's the end of the stream, though. It's the end of the stream, and we have to finish up before my computer runs out of storage space because I forgot to make space on the computer. Oh god, could you imagine? Okay, we might leave it here. Let me, I have 2 gigs of storage space left. Okay. Okay, let's save game. What was the name of the find Weretha and whatever null. Okay, that's the mission we're on. Ethic null, and so ethic null, and Weretha are the problem. Keeper Garost. Dwarven man stands motionless near the roaring fire in the cavern. Your sacrifice fills the land, supplicants. Come forth. A gust of smoke curls around him, licking the charred flesh that bulges on his forearms. They suddenly flex. Estimor. He holds his fist in a tight grip. Your kin doesn't come here to share with the tribes. What do you want? Tell me about Ethic Null. That's who we are. He places... the dwarf picks on his scarred forearm. Guttural sigh mingles with the crackling of wood and bones between him. Behind him? What? As I said, Estromorn rarely visit our halls. Our order has thrived for generations. Before we came to Twin Elms, our rights fed the lands of the Eastern Mountains. Now we share blood for the Gilfa. Okay. He opens his palm, strikes of red skin run through like flames. To everything that must end, our sacrifice brings a new beginning. We sustain what is to come. Tell me about the sacrifices. Everything must die in order to return anew, Estamor. Though the sacrifice through the sacrificial rites, we offer supplicants the honor of giving their most precious gift back to their brethren, back to the land. The dwarf lifts his fist, thick and mottled by red scars. The blood gives us strength. Even the Gilfahans have come to depend upon the blood paint. They brim with power before battle, all thanks to the sacrifices of their kin. This sounds like a scam, D-Forte, yeah. What is this place? The Gilfahans call this place the Blood Sands. We call it home. The Ethic Null have tended the land from within this cave since before the arrival of the tribes to Twin Elms. Be warned, Estamor, we bleed life to nurture it. Our sacrifices may strike you as savage, but the health of the land depends upon them. It is unseemly for guests to insult their hosts. Okay, goodbye. Remember, Estamor, you're a guest here. Respect our ways and we'll tolerate your presence among us. Okay. Okay. They have money, they have daggers. We're not going to steal anything. Oh, he nearly saw me stealing. We are benevolent, clever, diplomatic, passionate, rational, honest, and deceptive. Twin Elms neutral. Okay.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
I think we might just finish here. We just jump back to the last save. Earth Blights. Yeah, there's a lot here. We're not gonna. We're gonna have to punch out here, and we're gonna raid someone. Let me just load that game. And we just save where we were, just to make note of it, so we don't, because there's a lot going on in this, and we want to read that dialogue again on Monday. And I'm gonna finish up. I'm gonna wrap up. It's 1 minute past midnight here in Ireland. So we got to wrap up. So this is where we're going to start from on Monday. Right here. This is Act 3, 3 months and 19 days and 8 hours of in-game time. 86 hours and 27 minutes of real-world gameplay time. I've been doing 86 hours of this game. That's how long we've done. So who are we going to raid? Thank you for coming in tonight. Thank you, raiders, for coming in. D-Forte for raiding in. Jimmy for doing all of your work as a fine moderator and your artwork on your emotes and stuff like that. So what else have we got going on? Obviously, thank you to everyone for being here. You think it's off by 80 weeks? Jimmy, you're probably correct. Let's get this raid all queued up. Whomst shall we raid? I've been kicking all this stuff now over to YouTube, and I feel like I've come very late to the YouTube party. So, what do people like to play? Oh my god, okay, hold on. We're going to raid someone playing. There's an ad because obviously there is.
Welcome to the Tony Picks show tonight.
We're gonna raid someone playing the Dark Sun game that we played before. We'll see how they're doing. I don't know. I can't remember this person very well. They're playing Dark Sun Shattered Lands. I don't know who they are. We're just gonna raid in and see how they're doing. No clue. Could be a crazy person. I don't know who this person is. We're raiding them because we don't know who they are. That's how crazy it's going. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone. I will see you on Monday. Monday is a bank holiday here in Ireland. I'm going to a birthday party during the day, but I will be on. I hope to do some running in the morning beforehand. And I'm working on getting some more outdoor stuff done for the year. I will catch you all next stream. Thank you for all coming in. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to mute this now so that when I go over to the gameplay for the thing, when I go over to the other streamer, you don't get an echo. And I'm going to just hit raid now in a second. So good night, everyone. Bye-bye. See you on Monday. Bye. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raid.
Oh my god.